The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
What?
let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers,
You pig!
damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport!
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Overreaction Monday, May 20th, 2024. This sports program starts now. Sports are the greatest thing on earth. There is no question about it, especially if you spent the last 4 days like we did, which we were off, 4-day weekend. How you doing? We're lazy. I know. Things have changed. It has. We apologize, but we're watching a PGA Championship, which was remarkable. Storylines from literally the beginning to the end. A guy ended up in jail. Who was the guy? Number one golfer on earth, Scotty Scheffler, bent over the hood of a cop car, then sent to jail, put in an orange jumpsuit. I am somebody who has spent a morning, late night, early morning in jail for a public intoxication. Was not put in the orange jumpsuit, but was given prisoners who I believe they said were spending the rest of their lives in jail's clothes because my clothes are wet from an alleged incident with a canal. Nonetheless, didn't have the orange jumpsuit on. The fact that they had Scotty Scheffler in the orange fatigues in the mugshot as he was trying to get to Valhalla, the home of the PGA Championship this weekend, was obviously something that all of us thought was fake, AI, maybe photoshopped. Are we tripping balls right now? What the hell is going on? Well, obviously there was a very serious accident, miscommunication. It was dark. It was rainy. You know, sometimes in those situations, there could be some people who wield power and they let everybody know that they do. And then, you know, there are certain situations that are a little bit different. Like the guy is the number one golfer in the world. This is the biggest golf tournament happening in the world right now. Like there's a miscommunication situation. Hopefully that'll get all figured out. But it was certainly an eye-opening experience to launch the PGA Championship week that we watched. What Scotty Scheffler did that day, obviously 5 under, was remarkable. But the story was Xander Schauffele.
That's right.
This guy was always crumbling, always falling apart. Never won a major before. This guy can't do it.
Whoa.
This guy stinks. Yeah. Then on Sunday, with literally everybody on earth coming after him that we've ever heard of, DeChambeau, Victor Hovland, the names go on and on. He had a 6-foot putt to win it. Now, par sends to extra holes, 3 of them, then a hole-to-hole thing. Instead, he birdies 18 to win the PGA Championship, and it took the tractor another round. I believe he will potentially be, now the PGA is certainly hit or miss with a lot of these things because of how the PGA golfers' schedules are. I think he'll be joining us tomorrow. Congrats to Xander. Congrats to Xander. Can't wait to chat with him. That was awesome this weekend.
Yeah.
Then obviously the NHL had some big things happen over the last 4 days. Most specifically, the Florida Panthers knocked out the Boston Bruins. 9-year NFL vet Darius J. Butler. Congratulations.
Hey, thank you. Back in the Eastern Conference Final. Hey, good to be me and Con, man. Locker room that saw each other this morning. Big hug. Hey, good to be friends again. He's back. Obviously, his Celtics still at it, but you know, it's good to be back where we belong. Yeah, you guys put your swords aside. Congrats to the Florida Panthers making it to the Eastern Conference Finals and beating the Boston Bruins, even though that goalie that just got scored on right there, Swayman, stood on his head throughout the entirety of the series. The Florida Panthers were just too damn much for the Boston Bruins as they head to the Eastern Conference Finals against the khaki-wearing New York Rangers.
Congrats, Rangers.
Let's go to the Western Conference, shall we? How about out of the great state of Texas, the Dallas Stars are awaiting who? Well, the winner of Game 7 tonight, Vancouver, takes on the Edmonton Oilers. Oilers favored by 1.5. Obviously, that's Connor McJesus' squad. He hasn't been scoring as much, but they have been buzzing. I cannot wait to see who makes it to the Western Conference Finals to take on Texas hockey, as the NHL only has 4 teams left. What else happened over the last 4 days? Oh, the NBA
That's right.
has figured out its Final Four. Let's go to the West, the reigning, defending, undisputed champions. The Denver Nuggets, who have a 3-time NBA MVP, who doesn't speak a lot of English to a lot of people, but when he does, he is hilarious and he is magnificent at basketball. Well, they're no longer in it. Minnesota Timberwolves are now representing in the Western Conference Finals. Ant-Man, Cat, that entire squad, Rudy Gobert hitting turnaround threes. They completed the greatest comeback in the documented history for at least the last quarter century in Game 7 NBA history when they were down 20 in the third quarter and they come all the way back. Obviously, that is the man that is everybody's projecting to be the next face of the NBA because he's electrifying, talks his shit. He's not like just a nerd.
Yeah.
That he's a dog. Yeah. He's an absolute dog. Team's fantastic. They're in the middle of an ownership situation because of how good he is. That is actually sold the team. That didn't sell the team. You missed it. We still have it. I own it. You don't own it. Well, why did you want to sell the team? Well, because we sucked for so long. Yeah. Now we got this guy. This is still my team. That's currently happening. A-Rod was supposed to have the team. Had a sweet handshake with Ant-Man.
Yeah.
There's going to be an arbitration, I believe, to find out if A-Rod's going to be the actual owner of that team or not. But the Minnesota Timberwolves, guess who they're taking on?
Who's that?
From the great state of Texas.
Wow.
The Dallas Mavericks. That's right. In a 20-hour period, Dallas, the Stars, launched into the Western Conference Finals, and then the Mavs would win and send themselves to the Western Conference Finals. Congrats to the state of Texas and the city of Dallas.
Yeah.
I wonder if the Cowboys could follow suit.
No way.
How many days until NFL football?
108 days till NFL football.
Oh, yeah. Big stuff happened in the NFL over the last 4 days before we finish the Eastern Conference of the NBA, which everybody is eagerly awaiting, I would assume. Travis Kelce was in Lake Como, Italy with Taylor. He had Kelce Jam.
Yep.
Yeah, and they had Lil Wayne, 2 Chainz.
Yeah.
2 Kansas City Chiefs players got arrested for marijuana. Didn't know that still happened in 2024. They need to tighten it up over there.
They do.
Kansas City Chiefs PR is like, wait.
They're locked on.
I'm done.
Get Andy a cheeseburger.
Hey, PR, what do we got today? Why can't we be a normal team? Well, you're at the top. Obviously, that's going to happen. Oh, yeah, and the New York Giants debuted another uniform. It's the worst of all time.
Whoa. What?
Yeah, congrats, Giants football.
Holy hell.
Yeah, this looks like asshole. Yeah. This one right here looks bad, but it is throwback. You know, this is super throwback. This is much like the Bumblebee ones from the Pittsburgh Steelers, which is heralded as an incredible uniform because of how absurdly old it does look. It's also the one for the Green Bay Packers.
Yep, the Acme Packers ones. Brown helmets.
Which looks so old.
Yeah.
This is their take on it. Obviously, everybody's going to mock it because it's 2024. But to be fair, it's comps, you know what you're supposed to do with everything. Much better than these. These are trash. These are crap. But I'm sure they'll look good on field. Way to go, Giants.
For Giants.
How many days till NFL football?
108 days.
Well, before that happens, let me tell you a story about a beautiful town in Indiana. Now, the Boston Celtics have been waiting for the Eastern Conference Finals to begin. Who will we be playing? Will they be playing the team from New York City, biggest city in the United States of America?
That's right. Huge.
The New York Knickerbockers. Or will they be playing some bum-ass small city team, the Indiana Pacers?
Not a chance.
If you were to watch TV, anybody that had a microphone in front of them, maybe some makeup on and a large platform, boy, you could see them actually callousing their knees, praying to God that the New York Knicks would take on the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. That'd be a dream. Holy shit. Boston, New York in the Eastern Conference Finals. There was a chance it was going to be Boston, New York in the NHL Eastern Conference Finals. You could see TV executives and on-air personalities who are from those areas bopping to themselves about the possibility of the playoffs being a wet dream come true. Then Game 7 happens in Madison Square Garden. Little old Indiana Pacers travel into the Mecca to take on the New York Knicks in front of a slew of celebrities who are from the great city of New York. What a city.
What a city.
What a city.
Wow.
What a city. New York, what a city. So it's big.
Yeah. It's a big apple.
It never sleeps.
Ever.
They're so smart. Finance, all the shit. New York's so important.
Concrete jungle.
Oh my God. Concrete jungle, never quiet.
Sure.
You live in a box, but you pay a lot for it, so it's worth a lot. New York, it's where dreams come. It's where dreams come true.
Yeah. Truly.
And they did come true. Tyrese Haliburton, TJ McConnell, Miles Miles Turner, Spicy P come in and dance on the graves of all the stupid Knicks fans with their little pouty face. We were injured. We were hurt. We had all our players. You were playing against our bench. Wah, 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 wah. On-air personalities, TV, before the game. This is what the Knicks are going to have to do to win this game. Halftime, Mike Wilbon. There's no way the Pacers are going to be able to keep shooting the way that they did. Greatest shooting performance in the history of Game 7s in the NBA playoffs. Why? Because that human. Who's actually has Reggie Miller's arms right here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Those aren't his arms.
Oh, really?
Makes
You
more
can
sense.
see how those could be his arms. Incredible editing here by our guy Derek. But that is Tyrese. We are in the middle of the Tyrese Haliburton era. A lot of people talking about how many points he's had in previous games. Well, the games that were up a lot, he's resting. They haven't rested. Tibbs should have thought about doing that. Instead, all your players are injured. And then Spicy P comes in. He's got championship pedigree. He comes out roaring hot. Miles Turner, he seems to not miss from three. He's become Steph Curry, and he's a 7-footer. And then Tyrese Haliburton. If your name's John Chetrit, hey, Bruce, what's this dude's name? John Chitrit?
Chetrit, I believe.
Congrats, you're in a hell of a year.
Great season. I wish we got to take you guys on with a healthy roster. Hopefully next year we do.
What would've been the
Proud of
excuse
Jalen
then?
Brunson for fighting through it all.
Fight through it all. He didn't break his hand until late in the third quarter. You guys are already down 20. Here's your best player, DiVincenzo.
12
He's
when he
got to
broke
be your
it.
second best player. I know Julius is hurt. Okay, and that is
Julius, second best player. OG, third best player. He
played. I saw him out there.
Yeah.
That's not our fault. That's not the Pacers' fault. That's not the Pacers' fault.
Tibbs, baby.
But I do appreciate the fact that the New York Knicks fans the whole time. Okay, after they
Never
lose,
soft.
and then you see a lot of TV personalities before the game. What do they need to do? Halftime. They need after the game bummed out. There was a time actually when they announced that Jalen Brunson's hand was broke, where it seemed like Doris Burke didn't even talk. Ugh. Devastation.
Shell shock.
Hit the booth. Devastation hit the TV. Could you imagine if this Knicks team, who was hurt, so hurt, had to play this Boston Celtics team?
my God.
Everybody's wishing it was New York versus Boston. You want that New York Knicks team that's so so injured to take on this Boston Celtics team? I don't think so. That's not good for anybody. What is good for everybody is that this Pacers team is built of the right stuff. You know, Coach Carlisle even said in the locker room afterwards, boys, you came in here, you beat this team sorry ass in the Mecca in Madison Square Garden in front of all their stupid little celebrity fans. John Chetrit's dumbass, who's only sitting there because his dad's successful, running his mouth at Tyrese Haliburton, waking him up, dumb. That seems like a bad idea, especially in a Game 7. This is good for basketball.
Great.
This is good for the NBA, who is now going to have, I believe, 6 straight seasons with a different winner or something like that.
Yep.
That's good for the fans. That's good for sports media. And although I do believe that the Knicks had an incredible season, right? Let it go.
Good run.
Sweet run.
I watched it every game. I watched it.
All 82.
That's what I do. I watch all the games of all the sports all the time. I loved watching the New York Knicks play ball. I actually am trying to get DiVincenzo to the Indiana Pacers.
Sure.
He would fit in great.
We need
with
more
our
Italians out
team.
here.
He would fit in fantastic with our team. Jalen Brunson, now I know his dad is assistant coach now, and his agent is actually the president of the Knicks, so it is like a Brunson operation. It's going to be tough, I think, to get him out of there.
Sure.
We would like a few of their guys out here on the Pacers who are about to be the team who's going to run through the Eastern Conference. Now, sportsbooks, ESPN Bet more specifically, are saying that the Boston Celtics are minus 1,000 favorites.
Should be 2.
Those are big. Watch your mouth.
Should be 2.
This is right where. What's it?
The Celtics are minus 10 Game 1.
Okay,
that's
we don't
it?
need it. Let's one half of the
that's
hammer.
one.
God. Cowboys, 10 digs.
I'm not saying it's going to happen.
But this is what Coach Carlisle.
That's what he's been saying.
This is what the Pacers need and want.
saying it.
But you are very confident in what the Celtics are about
my
to
God.
do.
Yeah.
And now, granted, you would have been the same exact confident, I assume, against this Knicks team, especially with how hurt they are. I would assume you feel that as well.
Yeah, no matter what. I mean, basically since the start of the playoffs, it's been like, yeah, we'll see who we're playing in the Eastern Conference Finals. And now that we're here, it's like, oh, okay. So we'll see who we're playing in the finals. I couldn't be more confident. I don't think that there's even a shred of doubt in my entire body that this thing doesn't go past Game 6. But again, I'm glad we're doing this today because there's some dark days coming for the Pacers in these next 6 games, probably 5 games. But again, I'm happy that it's the Pacers because if it was the Knicks, it'd be even more so. Celtics haven't played anybody, blah, blah, blah. They're still going to say that. But again, at least the Pacers are completely healthy.
Tyrese Haliburton said in a press conference after the game while he was wearing a Reggie Miller.
Sweet.
Cool.
Need one.
Miles Turner had sunglasses on. Siakam sitting there next to him, so cool. Now, TJ McConnell, I think, deserved a seat.
Yeah.
Down there. Maybe on the other side.
He needs to sit at the table.
He is a dog. He's a menace. He is a pest. He is the gas. He is the juice.
That's right.
That is, and you see it anytime he is on there. But Tyrese said, we felt from the beginning of the year we're a playoff team. Now, none of you heard that because you haven't covered us at all. They're even saying, hey, media, we're done with the shits. And then they released ESPN's projections of the entire thing. Obviously, everybody had the Knicks. And Miles Turner said, I actually saw a photo. Everybody in this room pretty much is asking us questions right now. We're either hoping, wishing, or thinking that the Knicks would win this series. But instead, they don't. The Pacers are in the Eastern Conference Finals. Welcome to the Tyrese Haliburton era. Anthony Edwards is going to be a face of the league. I agree. He could be one of them.
Yeah, sure.
There's a guy here in Indiana who talks his shit, plays hilarious, has 2 different voices, and is beloved by his teammates. Joining us now is a man who gave props to the Indiana Pacers and how proud they should be last night on Twitter, and I appreciate that out of him. I didn't hear everything else he said. I'll be excited to hear it now. Ladies and gentlemen, Big Perk.
Yeah.
How we doing, man?
I just hear I see a lot of victory laps right now. That's what I see. I see
It's a big one.
from you and Connor. And look, shout out to the Indiana Pacers, right? I mean, taking advantage of the situation.
Okay.
Right?
Whoa.
It's just professional sports. We don't like it. I don't like it at all. I'm actually going to proclaim on this particular day, just like I did last year, this upcoming NFL season, no injuries are going to happen.
None.
No injuries are going to happen. This happens, doesn't it? I mean, it stinks. It stinks. Is the coaching style the reason for the injuries, or do you think it's just misfortune? What do you think it is for the Knicks in this particular case?
No. I was about to give the Pacers their flowers, right?
Sweet. I love that.
So when I think about the Pacers, I think about Rick Carlisle. He's done an exceptional job, right, when it comes down to putting this team in position to be successful offensively. You talk about one of the best offensive teams in the league, but also doing something old school, right? Calling his team out in the public and his team responding. Like, you don't get that from a lot of young players, right? To respond when they coaches call them out about their lack of physicality, question whether or not they have heart, and they responded in great fashion. They won that series, okay? They won that series against the Knicks. Kudos to them.
Okay, kudos. Okay, I like a good kudos every once in a while. How about having the highest shooting percentage in the history of Game 7s, let alone in Madison Square Garden? That is, it's the Mecca, it's bigger. You got all the celebrities. Fat Joe's dapping up everybody on a great season as they're heading down to the bench, as they're getting subbed out, All right, got to dap up. Joey Crack here, and then I can go down to the rest of the way. Who's that dude that's got the beard and the long?
Jason Bateman. Yep.
Jason Bateman's out there. Ben Stiller's out there. Obviously, Spike Lee's there. You were there. I saw next to Tracy Morgan. I mean, the stars were all out. And for them to go in there and have the greatest shooting performance in the history of the NBA playoffs in that particular setting, I think that says a lot about the moxie of the Pacers as well. And even though the Celtics are minus 1,000 to win the series, do you think the Pacers have any chance matching up with this Celtics team?
I do. And look, it starts off with the depth, right?
Honest.
I think you look at TJ McConnell, he's a damn dog, okay? And we're watching Aaron Nesmith, right? He's returning back to Boston, a team that drafted him, a team that gave up on him. He's going to have a chip on his shoulder, okay? Then I'm looking at Pascal Siakam, which I feel like didn't get talked about enough when he was traded to the Pacers, because everybody, when they looked at that Raptor team, everybody wanted OG Anunoby. And I kept saying, why isn't nobody pushing to get Pascal? All of a sudden, Indiana gets him, and we see what he's been for them. He's arguably been the best player for them consistently throughout these playoffs, right? He's had some big moments, and I thought he started it off last night. Look, I have this series going 7 games. Okay, I give the nod to the Celtics, but this Indiana Pacers team have shown me something these first 2 rounds that they're not going anywhere. And whether the world believes in them or not, they believe in themselves. That's the most important thing, and they're showing it. They're not backing down from anyone. You want to play physical, we could do that. We're going to put up points because we arguably have the best pure point guard in the league, Tyrese Haliburton, who wants to get everyone involved. Again, the Celtics, without Kristaps Porzingis, they're going to have to be on their best shit.
Stephen A. Smith said that, he was courtside before this game started, and there was a lot of shit talk obviously being directed at Tyrese, and Tyrese was responding to almost all of it, saying, wait until you see what happens today, and then he goes out and does it. And there was one particular guy, I believe he was calling out more than others. We've learned his name is John with no H. Okay, John with no H.
Oh, okay.
This guy is who we potentially, our source have told us is the ones that kind of woke him up. But I think you talked about it with Rick Carlisle kind of being old school, and I got to hang out with him a little bit at the Fever game because we were sitting next to each other watching the New York Liberty be the greatest assembled basketball team I've ever seen.
Wow.
It is. I'm not even getting into it right now, Perk, but I will at some point.
Can you?
I'm not allowed to talk about it because I don't know enough about it. I'm a very new fan. It's very obvious, and I'm very evident about it, so I'm not going to talk with, as much about it as I should. As we're watching B Stew, okay, just fucking cook her. She was phenomenal to watch on both ends of the court. She swatted.
Oh yeah,
Aaliyah Boston stuff. I think mean. It was a right in front of my face, and then she catches this no look pass from Sabrina. Yeah, this is the one right here, right in front of my face. No look pass. Then she makes the N1, obviously. And then she'll hit a step back 3 on the next time down. Then she'll swat. And then there's Jones, who's next to her, who might be 6'14". Just swatting everything. But as this is happening, as all this is taking place in front of us, and we're, Caitlin Clark, we're watching her kind of find her way with her new team here with the Fever. Coach Carlisle's 2 down. It's my wife and then Coach Carlisle sitting there. And I don't want to be the weirdo asking him a bunch of questions, but kind of. This is the day before this entire thing. So I pointed out B Stew, and I was like, hey, she's the one, huh? Like she is. And he goes, oh, yeah. You're talking about like one of the greatest basketball players of all time here. Yeah, we're talking about. And then we started chit-chatting, bantering. Then at halftime, I went inside, had a water with Coach Carlisle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and you talk about, like you said, that old school mentality. It does feel like they have a college environment, like a brotherhood type thing. And when you talk about bringing in Pascal, and Miles Turner was supposed to be the star of this team, drafted out of Texas. He was the guy that's being promoted. Tyrese is now the star of this team. And then you got TJ McConnell from the Sixers. It's like this group all knows, too, like who's who, what the roles are, what we're here for, who's the leaders. It's a beautiful thing. It is really a beautiful thing to kind of watch here as somebody who just recently got back into Pacer basketball.
Oh, absolutely. And the beautiful thing about this is, we're watching Rick Carlisle, an old school coach, and he had to adjust to the new generation, right? Like, think about this. He caught a lot of heat when he was let go from the Dallas Mavericks, right? A team that, he delivered a championship to that organization. And a lot of his former players didn't have a lot of nice things to say about him. The hardest thing in the world to do with a coach that has had so much success, right, in it, as what he's done in the league, is to adjust. And I think he adjusts, and he has the attention of that locker room. And we watching all the great coaches from Greg Popovich, right, who's going to be, 76 this year, I believe, or 75, somewhere around there. He's adjusting, right? You got to have that balance of old school with new school, and Rick Carlisle has done a hell of a job with that.
Coach Carlisle, 22 years as a head coach in the NBA.
Damn.
Been around a long time, obviously. Massive feat. This guy.
Is that right?
I had to go piss. I had to get past him. My wife and I had to walk. We're talking up and over each foot.
Wow.
Yeah, because we wanted to show some real respect there. Let's stick in the NBA playoffs, shall we? Go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, Perk, obviously, I completely disagree with what you're saying about the Pacers Celtics, but forget about all that. Let's go to the West. Watching this Timberwolves team was truly magnificent. Obviously, they paid Jaden McDaniels in the offseason, and I said that was terrible, and I am eating my words as I watch this team play because he is unbelievable on both ends of the court. Can anybody hang with them on the defensive side? Like, is there any way to kind of decipher what they do? Obviously, the Nuggets won 3 games, so yes, there's a way. But in a 7-game series, how hard is it to continue to play against a team that D's up the way the Timberwolves do?
It's really hard. And Connor, you don't remember a certain individual was down there in Indiana sitting in the Thunderdome in that spot over there?
Yep,
I think it's right to the right of Pat. Yeah, that's seat right there.
Yeah.
And I told you guys.
Glory day. Glory day. Day. Glory day. Yeah, it was great. Yeah. Right here. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Call.
It was a good time.
But I told you guys about the Minnesota Timberwolves. Look, the one thing that I love about this team, no matter how bad they may look at times offensively, they're going to stick to who they are, right? And that's some defensive dogs. And when I watched them last night, we already know what the altitude in Denver could do to a team, especially when you're going against the defending champs and you're down 20. Anthony Edwards shot 6 for 24 last night. But you know what they did? They clamped down. And as the game went on, they got stronger. You don't see that in a lot of teams. You don't see that in teams at all, especially playing in that altitude against the defending champs. They held them to 37 points in the second half. And when you think about what Jaden McDaniels and Anthony Edwards are doing on the perimeter, I know Jamal Murray, he went off in the first half. I believe he had, 24 in the first half?
Yep.
All of a sudden, he was in a straitjacket in the second half. Jaden McDaniels, he was in foul trouble in the first half. All of a sudden, they just kept sticking true to who they were. I was calling for Rudy Gobert to get out of for the coach to sit him. The coach trusted the man. He came through, knocked down some big free throws, a turnaround. Nas Reed, like, this team is dangerous. And Connor, you gonna hate me for this, but I actually got the Minnesota Timberwolves picked to win it all.
Okay.
I figured.
I like that. I mean, Connor's just thinking that you're going to hate the Celtics, even though you're a Celtics legend up there. That's Connor. Connor's got a trenches mentality, though. Everybody's against him at all times. Amen. To your point about this Timberwolves team, and you've been talking about this literally since the day you were here. That is a very real thing. Phoenix, it's a Hembo stat. This is Hembo. We all know Hembo.
Shout out.
Phoenix and Denver combined to average 99.6 points per game versus Minnesota in the playoffs. They took on the 4-time scoring champ, Kevin Durant and the boys, and then they took on the 3-time MVP, Joker, and them. I mean, and the reigning champs. It's like they do lock down on the one end. And you talked about how Anthony Edwards was 6 of 25. Damn. He actually, as he was reading his stats at the press conference and mocking himself, it's like effort on the other end. You know, like there's some days where maybe you don't have the talent or the skill, but you can give effort. Like, all right, I'm a max effort here. On the defensive side, like, hey, we can fly around a little bit more. It's like he can do that. You know, if you're not feeling as much, not have as much effect on the game. On the defensive side, all right, let's just lock this shit down. Like, let's just go ahead and do that. Which is that mentality, which is why we all want to see this guy have success, I think, because we're not sure how many of those guys are left, Perk, right?
But Pat M, listen to this.
Okay,
though.
shout out.
He's the best young leader in the game of basketball. Look, Jimmy Butler had on the Timberwolves jersey at one point of his career. He couldn't pull this out of Karl Anthony Towns. What we saw out of Karl Anthony Towns last night. We saw Karl Anthony Towns not only take advantage of his mismatches offensively, and I thought he kept them afloat in the first half and even in that third quarter when they was making the comeback to take the lead, but defensively. When Rudy went out, the 101 defense that Karl Anthony Towns played on Jokic, really not just last night, but all series long, that's what happens when you have a young leader like Anthony Edwards. He put the key in his back. You heard him last night. He said, Karl Anthony Towns was like, man, I've been here for 9 years. Anthony Edwards was like, man, fuck them 9 years. How long you been with me?
Oh, I like that.
How long you been with me? And it showed, man. So when that type of leadership, I always say when I look at Anthony Edwards, I'm like, yes, he's 22 years old, but like my grandmother used to say, he has an old soul, baby. He has an old soul. And living in this moment and making a run to NBA championship, this is nothing to Anthony Edwards when you look at his upbringing and what he had to go through. I mean, if you go and look at what he had to go through as a child, This is all fun and games for him.
Well, I would like to say I haven't looked into that nearly enough, seemingly. Congrats, and makes it even more fulfilling to watch, you know? Hey, here we go. Another American dream story coming together.
Hell yeah.
Could you imagine if he continues to play the way he is, 22 years old? Are we looking at another shoe line, merch line? You know, he's an actor. The commercials are going to be absurd.
Yep.
I mean, you know, there's a chance here.
Oh, God. I hope he doesn't go through the SGA Chet Holmgren commercials.
No, he won't. You think he's going to say yes to that?
I hope not.
No.
I don't know.
He won't.
You know.
I hope.
You do know. You know he would say,
I hope.
send new video.
Yeah.
That's
That's what he would say.
I would hope that's what
he said. I ain't doing that. That's what he would say.
You can't say anything good about him yet because you think Celtics are going to play with the finals.
I mean, no, I've been saying how sweet it is to watch him because he is a dog and there isn't anybody in the NBA like him. But yes, there's a chance that I am a little worried. Yeah.
Oh, a little fear coming through that. Bruins just lost to the Panthers.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, hey, look, you don't want to do this right now with what the Pacers are staring down. Okay, so I get it. The Bruins and the Panthers, sure. You don't want to do this.
No, but I'm saying it seems like you got a little dog creeping in.
Oh no, not with the Celtics. No, not at all. I think the best case scenario for the Celtics was the Nuggets losing. No doubt about it.
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about the West a little bit.
Yeah.
Go ahead, D-Buzz.
Hey, before I get into it, congrats, Big Perk, entering the Texas High School Hall of Fame.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Big time. But this matchup, West Conference.
Hold on, you giving a speech? When's this
let's
happen?
go.
Can we learn a little bit more about this? What is going on with the Texas High School Hall of Fame? Great piece of information.
I got inducted into the Hall of Fame, Pat. You know,
No big deal.
on Saturday. You know what I mean? And like I tell everybody, you know what I'm saying? You don't go straight from high school to the University of Cash without putting up Wilt Chamberlain type numbers. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what I done.
Yeah, University of Cash.
Hell yeah.
Hey, Cash U.
I love that.
Cash U used to be awesome. And these are documented.
Yeah.
Which is a beautiful thing.
Oh, yeah,
Go ahead,
on
D-Buzz.
video. But this Western Conference final matchup, obviously you just picked the Timberwolves to win it all. But you speak about leadership. Kyrie, I think, has kind of turned that knob way up as far as leadership and how he's been working with Luka. Been a lot of questions there, but they turned it up, took care of the Thunder. How do you see the matchup of these both teams, big twos, you know, Ant and Cat, and then Luka and Kyrie? How do you see each team trying to deal with those two?
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be must-see TV. Get your popcorn out. Get ready to have your toes doing this here because that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be must-see TV. But here's the thing, right? The Dallas Mavericks, they look great. Kyrie Irving, his championship leadership, you can see him, you know, putting that confidence in guys like Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington. Luka is gonna have his hands full, right? Luka is gonna have to be like the Luka that we want to see. Like he's been Luka of the regular season. He's going to have to be playoff Luka, meaning he's going to have to average 40, in my opinion, in this series in order for them to win this series. That's why I don't have them picked to win it. Here's the thing. When playing against the Minnesota Timberwolves, they're going to kill you with those double bigs that they have in Rudy and Karl Anthony Towns. You have to find a way to match that. You can't play Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively at the same time. The blow that happened to the Mavs was losing Cleveland, right? When they lost him, I thought that was a huge blow for them to make a championship run. And so when I think about the bigs and what Rudy is going to be able to do to affect this game, because now he don't have to worry about Jokic. Now he can actually be the defensive player of the year, meaning he can sit in the paint, because you have Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford who can't really stretch the floor. Now all of a sudden it causes more problems for you. And I understand, right? Luka and Kyrie Irving, they're special when it comes to being on the perimeter. But we was saying the same thing about Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, and we saw what happened to them.
Average less than 100. Yep. We just heard the Hembo stat about that entire thing. Defense, huh? Isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
It's like NFL convos. NFL convos, whenever playoffs start, then everybody starts realizing, like, okay, which team has the championship defense here? You know, because everybody talks about the offense. And then also, who can run the ball?
Yes.
Here? Who can run the ball and who can play some great defense? That isn't talked about until, like, December. You know? It feels like it's happening right now in the NBA as well. Is that every year? Is this every year this is talked about?
Yeah, I mean, it should be, because it's no team that has won the NBA championship without having elite defense, right? It goes unnoticed. Even when Golden State was making their runs, and winning championships, they were top 5 defensively. When you look at the Nuggets last year, they were a top 5 team defensively. Like, Jokic stepped up to the plate. He was better in the postseason for his pick-and-roll defense. Like, you got to defend. If you don't defend, if you don't rebound, you're not going to win a championship. There's no other way around it.
Yeah, that's why Miles Turner Diner.
Yeah, you're gonna need him.
Yeah, TJ McConnell.
Gotta need those guys.
You didn't mention his name. Perk.
Yeah. That's good. Actually, Ton, good point. What were you saying?
Yeah,
there?
Perk, when you were talking about the Pacers, you rattled off everybody's name. You didn't mention TJ McConnell.
Oh, is there any reason for that?
You still racist, Perk?
Wow.
No, I did. I did. I mentioned TJ McConnell. I said he's a damn dog.
Okay.
Yeah, I did mention him.
Okay. The internet said
I mentioned him. Look.
I heard it.
I don't even know if he was an unsung hero in this thing. Like, I don't even want to call him that. I think that's like kind of like disrespecting what he did in this series. He was he's a bad motherfucker.
He is.
Yes, he is.
He is. He's going to like hearing that too, because I think he that would be a massive compliment to him.
Mm-hmm.
I think with the way he goes about operating. I just learned this from the internet this weekend, and I think they might be fake X accounts. I think his sister played at Duquesne.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? Brother plays at Duquesne. Dad's like Hall of Fame coach and high school basketball coach in Pittsburgh at Chartiers Valley, I believe. So, like, he's probably since he's, it's just all basketball.
Bred for this moment.
And he's from Pittsburgh. And that Chartiers Valley area, they got some dogs in Chartiers Valley. And McConnell's certainly one of them. I assume the whole damn family.
That video of McConnell that you put out while he's walking back after.
I'm a fucking dog.
Yeah.
Just didn't draw out the dog.
No.
It was just standard dog. It was. It's become a great TJ McConnell show, and I mean, surprisingly to nobody, the live arena loves this dude because he's a showman.
Oh yeah.
It is a gladiator type feel. Are you not entertained whenever shit's happening with him on the court? I love the moxie. Now, speaking of being on the court, there was a guy for like most of my adulthood that at this time he was still on TV. Now he's not. Ladies and gentlemen, Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Big Perk. There are now reports coming out that LeBron is not involved in any way in the Lakers' new coaching search. Said, hey, that's an organizational decision. That's not my room to, or that's not my cross to bear. I think most people think that's kind of bullshit. They think LeBron's probably the one pulling all the strings. But when you look at how young and how talented all these teams are in both the West and the East, like, does this matter at all? Whoever the Lakers hire, JJ Redick, obviously that's a nice name and everything. That'd be exciting. But does it matter who the Lakers hire eventually? Like, are they just kind of done when you look at the landscape of the Eastern and Western Conference right now?
No, it does matter. It does matter. And let me explain why. Because the Lakers, I understand LeBron James, arguably the greatest player of all time, right? We could debate that another day.
You guys do all the time on First Take. I mean, that game, didn't it?
Yeah. But I'm saying we could debate that another day, okay? Here's the thing.
But I'm saying it will get debated today at some point. It will get. Okay, never mind.
Here's what I'm saying. I feel like with the Lakers, okay, this doesn't need to be a LeBron James hire. This needs to be an Anthony Davis hire, okay? Anthony Davis is the guy that is in his prime. Anthony Davis is the guy that needs to have the keys to this organization. Not riding in the passenger seat trying to drive the car, but give him the keys. I believe that the Lakers will make a move this offseason and bring in a third star. I don't know if that's going to be Donovan Mitchell. I don't know if there's going to be Trae Young. I don't know if there's going to be Darius Garland, DeJounte Murray.
Wow.
They're going to bring in a third star. Okay, they got to get better at the guard position. So whoever the Lakers hire, they have to be really, really careful. But for the simple fact that you don't want to lose Anthony Davis. If Anthony Davis become pissed off for some reason because the coach is not, emphasizing him or making him the primary factor, then you could see Anthony Davis getting disgruntled and wanting out of LA. This has to be an Anthony Davis hire, not a LeBron James hire. Anthony Davis.
Okay, I'm sure that's how it's going to go. Excited to see how it all works out. Hey, we appreciate the hell out of you, Perk. You're killing it on TV, brother. Crushing it.
I appreciate y'all. Y'all keep going. Hey, look, tell Connor to fix his body language, man. I still got a lot of love for him. The Celtics are going to get to the NBA Finals. Now, whether they complete the mission, I don't know. Is Kristaps Porzingis going to come back healthy? Because they can't win it all without him.
He needs to fix his body language. You need to fix your confidence in the Celtics over the Pacers. We got a lot to fix here.
I don't know
There's
about
a lot
that.
to fix here.
What are the odds again?
Minus 1,000.
Okay, for the Celtics to win.
Yeah, heavy favorite. Probably the biggest in the history of a series in playoff history.
It's a huge chance.
Western Conference, Eastern Conference, Conference
Finals.
Final.
Sure.
Probably the largest spread in the history.
Heavy the head,
10
though.
points.
Where's the crown?
Disrespectful.
It is Tyrese Haliburton's putting
Is it?
weight on his shoulders.
All
All right, and we
won
appreciate you, ladies and
65
gentlemen,
games.
champion Kendrick Perkins. Thank you.
Big Perk.
Appreciate you, Perk. Appreciate. He loves that Timberwolves defense.
He does.
They are.
He said they smacked the wood like Ricky Stenhouse Jr. smacked Kyle Busch.
Whoa!
That's what he said.
It's messed up. Ricky Stenhouse he didn't even get a good look at our freaking guy. Anyways.
Well, listen, Stenhouse was waiting on him. Waiting on him back at his truck.
Exactly.
I don't think KY had a good look at that punch coming in.
KY had a bottle of water in his
I was
hand.
going to say Stenhouse.
Do we have the video? Yeah, here we go. Bottle of water in Kyle Busch's hand. I just finished the race. There's fireworks going off in the back. You keep telling people I rubbed you in the wall. I didn't do that. You're dirty. I don't know what the hell they're exact saying, but somebody's pissed about something. And I believe there was a crash into a wall, and somebody blamed somebody. And Stenhouse does it right. Kyle Busch's jaw eats one. Then he falls over a tire.
Oh.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Ricky Stenhouse Sr. now throwing rights, trying to fight the hell out of Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch is, oh, no. All of a sudden now, Stenhouse's
That's the worst.
crew is pulling Kyle Busch out. Kyle Busch's crew says, get off the truck. Get off the truck. That guy needs to be signed to play left tackle. Probably did play offensive line in college. That is who these NASCAR pit crews actually are.
Yeah.
This dude probably former college football player.
Oh, yeah.
Just hawking people off the truck just in the name of KY.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what, NASCAR still has their fastball.
Yeah, they do.
You
Shout
see
out to the camera crews, too.
what trailer that happened at? That old number 3 back there. Dale had a little part in that. Okay?
Well,
Dale had a little part in that.
Well, Austin Dillon is now running the 3, and I think that was a big conversation whenever it all happened. But yeah, Ricky was waiting on him.
He was.
Ricky was waiting. I don't like the way you're driving out there.
He was showered and everything.
I saw some quotes. I guess Ricky and Kyle got into it a couple years back somewhere.
It was a rivalry.
Bad blood.
No love lost.
Yeah, but then they, I guess they feel like they both race hard, so they have a mutual respect for each other.
Sure.
But then there's been some slander going on about some dirty driving maybe and blaming people for stuff. And I think there is a little NASCAR heat between KY and Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and I do believe their next race is this upcoming weekend.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's see
You
what the
can
boys
see it
do.
right there, those two cars.
Yeah, well, Robin's racing to give a little pit maneuver as if it's a police officer. That's clear as day.
That's racing, baby.
That's clear as day.
You don't do that to the icy hot number 47.
You can't do it. The icy hot, good news, going to recover quick. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who might take some time to recover. And by the time he recovers, guess what? It's Jets football season. So now optimism is at an all-time high. New Yorker, ladies and gentlemen, a man who's in 2 Hall of Fames for broadcasting and speaking into microphones, a stud, Mike Greenberg. Greeny, how you doing, man?
Guys, couple of quick thoughts. First off, just watching that racing there, if Scotty Scheffler had done any of that, he'd been in prison for the rest of his life. That was the first thought that came to my mind.
True.
The second is thank you for having me on, because I have to say, for the last several months, you know that my wife Stacy watches you guys every single day.
Hi, Stacy.
And
We
she
appreciate
follows
you.
everything you say on the social. And I can't count for you the number of times she has said to me in the last few months, how come you're never on that show anymore?
Yeah, that's what we're wondering.
Good question.
It's not for lack of being asked. So I said, well, the Jet season ended.
Oh,
and Rodgers hasn't been in the news. So, maybe they've lost interest in me. So I feel very happy to be back on the show.
You need to know that was not the case at all. It was that we assumed, because we I mean, this is us being dumb, I guess. I don't like asking humans to come on, especially if they have a lot of jobs. You know, I don't enjoy doing that. So we just assumed that you were probably in the middle. Wasn't there a radio? Didn't you have
Greeny?
Don't you have Greeny? Don't you have Greeny at the same time?
I do. I just got off the radio a little while ago, but here I am always available for you guys. Anyway, forget about all of that.
Noted. All right, so Greeny will be on here, weekly, probably a couple times a week, to heighten the professionalism of everything. Speaking of Greeny, I don't know if you got a chance to see it. This weekend, there was a situation, a Game 7, where, just a team from little old Indianapolis went into the garden and did some gardening, pal. Ha! Pacers, Game 7, the Mecca. You know what we did? You see that? In the garden, whacking weeds, dominating. That's what the Hicks from Indianapolis went out there and did, to the chagrin of everybody in sports media, seemingly. Should I feel as bitter against everybody that has a microphone about the way they talked about the Pacers' chances in this series? And how do you feel as a Knicks fan with a team that had, great year, fantastic year?
Well, for starters, I was the one. I said all last week that I thought Friday night was the series. I thought with the turnaround from Game 6 to Game 7, with the Knicks as short in their rotation as they were, I didn't see any conceivable chance that they were going to be able to turn around with travel this time and win a Game 7, regardless of where it was played. I think I said last week, I don't care if that game is played at the Garden or on the Moon, I don't see the Knicks winning Game 7. Okay. To me, Friday night was the game. And I think Rick Carlisle is going to go to the Hall of Fame for two reasons, or showed you two things in this series. He knows how to push the right buttons. At the end of the day, all coaches can make good adjustments and bad adjustments, and good moves and bad moves. And the move to put Nesmith on Jalen Brunson in Game 3 was one that I almost thought he waited a game longer than he should have. All coaches do that. But I think he pushed two excellent buttons during this series. I think the button he pushed at the end of Game 2 with his players and with the fans in Indiana, you obviously were there. We all saw you sitting courtside. Playing the small market card the way he did, playing the us against the world card, I thought that was really smart. And then the second piece of it that I think he did really well as far as that's concerned is the way he challenged his guys after Game 5. The difference in Game 5 was not any adjustment. It wasn't anything that Tibbs did. People are quick to try and give him credit. And I'm not suggesting he didn't do anything. In Game 5, the Knicks played like they needed it, and the Pacers didn't. The Pacers played like the moment was too big for them. They looked jittery in the Garden. All this gardening that you were doing looked like it was actually getting to them. And Carlisle basically said, and you guys probably have the quote, Carlisle said, guys, you just got your ass handed to you. Get a rebound, dive on the floor, play like you're where you're supposed to be. And I thought his team really responded to that. They came out on Friday exactly the way they needed to. They looked like the desperate team in a game that I thought the Knicks should have been desperate to win. And after Game 6, there was no question in my mind the Pacers are going to win yesterday.
They're kind of like America's team, too, able to take tough coaching. They came together.
United.
Added a star, Pascal, Siakam. Siakam, obviously, you added him mid-season. Yep. No problem at all. Miles Turner being able to adjust what Tyrese Haliburton comes in and becomes the star, signs a massive 5-year deal. TJ McConnell just doing his role. Guy with sweet fade.
Ben Shepherd.
Dog. Ben Shepherd is a dog.
Weapon.
And then Rick Carlisle, you look at a guy, you're like, that guy looks like Jim Carrey. What else can he do? Oh, head coach, 22 years in the NBA. He's got a team in Indiana. Completely relevant again. Yeah. And breaking the hearts of the big city. Greeny, you know it. The bias coverage was something that, we were sick of, Greeny. We were sick of it out here. You know what I mean? Sick of it.
I'm not surprised. We heard a lot of that last year, too, when the Nuggets were playing the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. There was a lot, and then we wound up in Denver. So we traveled, and by we, I mean I was on Countdown at that time. So Stephen A., Michael Wilbon, Jalen, and me were in Denver for the NBA Finals. And believe me, I heard it. I heard from all of the Denver fans, all you guys talked about was the Lakers, all you talked about was LeBron, all you talked about was the Lakers, all you talked about was LeBron. And that's just the reality of the situation. The media capital of the world is New York. We are the networks are overrun and lousy with New York-based fans. Stephen A. Smith obviously being at the top of that list and by far the most prominent person that we have. So that was the way it was going to be. I actually think it worked to the benefit, to the point I made about the Game 2 stuff. I think it worked to the benefit of the Pacers. I think Carlisle played that really, really well. He basically said, no one thinks we have a chance. No one wants us here. It's just us against the world. And I think, didn't Haliburton say something like that yesterday in the postgame, right? He said, no one gave us a chance, and Miles Turner co-signed that. So, look, those things can work in either direction. And I think it wound up working in the Pacers' favor over the course of the series.
I agree. Incredible motivation. It sounds like Tyrese Haliburton is a guy, though, that does pick up, things to be pissed off about. And Rick Carlisle continuing, to push the right buttons is a beautiful story here. Now, on the other side, with your guys' coach, go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, Greeny, obviously there's been a lot of fodder around Tibbs just kind of running this team into the ground. Is that something
all right?
that...
Is everything okay over there?
Did he run you into the ground too there?
Yeah, you okay?
No, I think I always have to have something. I'm fidgety in my fingers, and I just dropped the cap to this bottle. Sorry about that.
I don't want to interrupt. Hold on, though, because I have a similar thing. Those spinners, when they were out, did you use them? Those fidget spinners?
No, I should have, but no, I know what you're talking about, but I think those came after my time. Those probably came out when you were little and I was already in my 30s.
I think you were in your second Hall of Fame already, but it came and went pretty quick.
It did.
It was a good run. I'm fidgety as well, obviously. I mean, I stand for 3 hours. But nonetheless, Coach Tibbs, did he have his team standing too long? Is that
So yes, I think we don't live in a world where both things can be true is a popular answer to questions, but both things can be true. Tom Thibodeau can have done an incredible job, took this team farther than perhaps any other coach would have, and deserved consideration for Coach of the Year this year. I actually voted him third on my ballot for Coach of the Year. All that is 100% true, and the players love him. All of that is true, but it is also true that the incredibly tight rotation that he plays has historically caught up to his teams in the playoffs. Now, you can take each individual injury they had this year, and you probably could explain almost all of them away. So the Julius Randle thing, he took a charge and busted up his shoulder. Bogdanovich, got stepped on, and that was the end of his foot. Mitchell Robinson got yanked down on a dirty play by Joel Embiid, and that was the end of him. The only real injury that I think was caused by the strain might have been the Anunoby injury in Game 2, where he just played all these 46 minutes. You would know better than I would what it's like to run like that and then have your hamstring blow out. I mean, I've never run that far. Literally, if you added up all the running I've done in my entire life, I haven't run as far as those guys were running in each individual game. And then you see a guy like Alec Burks come off the bench. I forgot Alec Burks was on the team, to be completely honest with you. And then he comes in and he's playing well. You're telling me he couldn't have gotten some minutes. So there is room for criticism of Thibodeau, without question here. But is that the reason they lost? No, the reason they lost is sports are, as often as anything else, they're about who stays healthy. Right? I mean, that's as significant as anything. The Knicks were an incredibly deep team this year, just like the Pacers are now. They just wound up being depleted, partially because of the coach, perhaps, but more because sometimes the luck just goes against you.
Hey, it was a great year for the Knicks.
Truly.
Well, so this is actually something that I wanted to say.
I loved it.
So, and I'm going to do this on the TV show tomorrow. Okay. So Jalen Brunson, and it was the right answer, right? Jalen Brunson was asked afterwards, do you consider the season to be a success? And he said, no, we didn't go to the finals. We didn't get close. I don't consider that a success. And that's how I want the star of my team talking. That's how you want your leader talking. That's the tone you want to set for the entire organization. This, we're not satisfied. We're all that kind of, I get all of that. It's the right thing to say. But it also isn't true. Okay, so not every team that loses is a failure. The Denver Nuggets season is a failure, without question. The Indiana Pacers season is a screaming success if they get swept in the next round, which, by the way, I don't think they're going to do.
Wow.
But if they got swept in the next round, their season is still by no means a failure. Are you kidding me?
We're starting
You're this
Haliburton
young
era.
group.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like this is not a failure, and the same for the Knicks. The Knicks season is an enormous success. It's a disappointing ending. They would have liked it to go farther, but not all seasons that don't end in championships are failures, and the Knicks season certainly is not one.
Hey, man, and I'm not a big everybody deserves to win, guy, but I think you're 100% right. That was a good speech. You should do that on TV tomorrow.
Yeah.
You should do that on TV tomorrow.
Actually, I'm going to do my list of the 5. How about this? I'm giving it away. Yeah. This is tomorrow's
top 5. Top 5.
Here we go.
Top 5 teams whose season were a success, regardless of how they end.
Lions.
And number 1 is the Pacers. I'm putting the Pacers at number 1. I think regardless of what happens from this point forward, their season is an enormous success. Regardless of what happens from this point.
Are you doing just basketball? Or are you doing all sports?
Yeah, just basketball. No, just the 5 teams in the NBA right now.
Maybe broaden that thing. Because Lions, think about Lions fans last year.
Well, I mean, that was a good topic then. See, the difference with the Lions was they don't put you in halls of fame for bringing things up 5 months later.
No, of course not.
But here's what I'll say, McAfee, that the Lions, it was a great story until they blew it. Until the Lions had that game absolutely won in the second half and handed it back. That was what really bothered me.
Such a Lions.
Good point.
You Lions fans blew it, dude.
Greatest season of our lives. That was a W all day. It's okay that last game didn't end how we wanted it.
And then they gave money to everybody.
Yes.
Everybody on the team somehow. We're excited to watch it all unfold. But let's talk a little football here as we're running up on a hard out. Go ahead, D.
Yeah, speaking of about 100 days out from the football season started, your Jets, obviously we know what happened the first game. But now OTAs are starting. How do you feel about this all season for your Jets?
Terrified. There has never been in the history of sports a larger chasm between the realistic possible finishes for any team I can think of. If you told me right now the Jets are going to be great and they're going to be playing Kansas City in the AFC Championship game, that actually wouldn't be that surprising. If you told me the Jets are going to fire their coach by Halloween, I actually don't think that would be that surprising. I think the possibilities are that vast. I think if this team stays generally healthy, if Aaron stays healthy, and if some of these guys that they brought in stay healthy, the Jets have as much talent. I'll say this as loudly as I can. The Jets have as much talent as any team in the entire NFL. Okay. There are just a million question marks. First and foremost with the coaching, secondly with the injuries. If those two things both come back, yes, it would not stun me if I'm on this show talking about the Jets making a Super Bowl run this coming year.
Yeah, we will be sending invitations now that we know that you'll stop your radio show somehow to do this particular show. We're lucky for it. We can't thank you enough for everything you've done for us, pal.
Well, guys, you know, what can I tell you? It is a pleasure. My wife will be happy now. Go ahead, garden something. Give me a little something there. Yeah, the Knicks had a good run. But it's all over.
Jason Bateman.
Spike Lee.
Morgan. Spike Lee.
Chris Rock. Stephen A. Smith.
I like today. Just did some gardening. Had to do some gardening. We appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. 2 Hall of Famers, Mike Greenberg. I wonder how many times that has been done in sports. 1,000?
I can't wait for the photos.
1,000 times in the garden doing gardening?
I don't know if I've ever seen someone take a weed whacker out and put it into a microphone. That might be the first.
Yeah.
That might be the first.
I think so.
I had to really control which way the...
Yeah, absolutely.
You, Bob Vila, and Tim the Toolman Taylor.
Home improvement out here. Educational program. What a show, huh? What a day.
What a day.
Perk, Greeny was stop his show for our show.
Yeah.
That's great news.
Weapon.
Hour 2 is on the other side. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Even the officials. Joining us is a demon. Ladies and gentlemen, O's the Mentalist will be joining us.
All right, O's.
Let's go. What's the pick? I'm not giving away for free. Bill, what time is it right now?
7:57.
Write it as big as you can.
Wow.
Okay.
It's about to get weird. From this point on, I never touch this bad boy. We're going to revisit later in the draft.
All right, let's get in here, you sick son of a bitch.
Almost 2 hours.
Hold it. Oh, don't drop it. I dropped it. Okay, AJ, take the cards, look through them, and here's the thing. I want this to be random. Yeah, you can.
Okay. Yeah. What's up? My hands are a bit frozen, but yeah.
I want you to take, but hold on. I don't want you to look for your favorite.
Bill's booking Sean Payton right now.
There we go. Head boy Bill.
AJ, slow. Lift. No.
Let one of your guys.
Take off a piece.
Oh,
it could
you
be a
fucked
lot
my
or a little.
shirt. Oh, right here.
And don't look at it. Lift it up.
I'm not.
Put it against your body. That feel right?
Yeah, feels
AJ,
great.
if you don't feel like this was the right moment for you, you want to change, put it back.
All right, I'm putting it back.
It's up to you. All right, lift off wherever you want.
We're back.
More or less.
No, that's not okay. Now I'm good.
3 times.
Good.
Okay.
This is a good one.
Are you sure?
Yeah, of course.
Stay right there, locked and loaded.
Oh, you fucked up my shirt, bro.
Okay. And there is a white piece of paper.
Yep.
Is that right? That's all that's in there. Take that out. I want you to see this. Look, AJ, open it up.
No fucking way.
No
and
way.
Show us and show AJ what you got. What is that? Show us. 9 turn around and show us where you're at.
You ready?
Yep, turn it around.
No way. Shut up! This guy!
757, that's important.
That's been in there since 757. Imagine that you somehow know the game of the year next season. Tell us, what are the two teams that you're seeing in this game? Wow. Say it.
Packers and 49ers.
Who do you think's going to win that game?
Packers 34, Niners 27.
Tell me on your life. Did I tell you to say anything? Did I
you
say
did it, and I swear to God, if you get this right, I'm gonna rip your fucking head off.
Tell him the game of the year.
Oh my
Read
God.
It to him, please.
Come on, bro.
Read him to him. Packers beat the 49ers 34-27. Remember this screen grab when it happens this season. Open up what's been in there since 757.
Come on, dude. There's something wrong with you.
Open it up. It says Brock Bowers, 13th pick Raiders.
Fuck this guy.
Oh,
fucking way!
There's no way! This guy's a witch. Bears, Caleb Williams.
100% we knew it.
Commanders, Jaden Daniels.
No, don't
Patriots, Drake May. Cardinals, Marvin Harrison Jr. Chargers, Joe Walt. Giants, Malik Neighbors. Titans, J.C. Latham. Michael Penix Jr. Roma Dunze. Vikings from
Traded
Jets.
with the Jets.
What? J.J. McCarthy, Jets from Vikings. Olu Fashanu, Broncos, Bo. Knicks, and then the 13th pick.
Oh my God!
Bowers to the Raiders.
Whoa. I'm so happy I'm not.
Beautiful.
Taped on his chest since 7:57. Right now it is 9:50. You're a demon.
Man.
O's.
That's fucking.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
What?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers,
You pink.
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport.
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this massive overreaction Monday, May 20th, 2024. Hour 2 of the program starts now. Sports! Oh, wonderful. Sports are the greatest thing on earth, and we're lucky to talk about them every single day. I'm not alone, obviously. The Toxic Table is here. At Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Sweet dog.
Hey, thank you very much. Nice little Doberman. And this was actually for the Pacers. You know, they were dogs for that whole entire series. It was electric. We got to go to a couple games. I mean, I am jacked up that they won. I don't want that to get lost in the fact that they are, you know, huge, monumental, biblically underdogs against the
underdogs. You know, that's gotten people a long way, especially.
Sure.
Are you sure that's what type of dog is that? What do we think?
Oh, it's a Rottweiler.
It's a Rottweiler.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sorry.
I always get the two wrong as well.
Yeah, so I do have one, but the only real difference.
Dobermans are disciplined looking.
Yeah, so that's the only real difference. The ears.
Neighbor and
they're skinnier Rottweilers. They're super disciplined.
Super disciplined,
Their
exactly.
diet,
They're
yeah,
Ozempic.
everything. Yeah.
They're Ozempic Rottweilers.
Bingo.
Or the Dobermans neighborhood down the road. 2 Dobermans that sit outside of his house.
They're mean
Tall. Tall ones, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're big.
But when they're laying
40
down,
years.
they look like horses.
Oh, yeah?
Dogs. They are a beautiful dog. I mean,
Gorgeous.
they are. They're intimidating. The left there is the Doberman. The right is the Rottweiler.
Yeah, and you can't have Dobermans that have ears that those ears are clipped. You got to make them to have ears that way when they're young.
Yeah, well, the clip decision is a whole nother conversation, I do believe, for ears on most dogs. But that particular breed there is a definitely is a badass dog. So is a Rottweiler.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we got a lot of dogs out here at Ty Schmidt's here. The Packers do anything sweet?
They signed most of their draft picks.
There we go.
You know, so yeah, I think got 3 guys left. So yeah, I mean everything's looking.
You paying attention to Western Conference hockey? The Las Vegas Golden Knights obviously used to be the Kings over there. Are you paying attention now that the Vegas Golden Knights are out?
Yeah, a little bit. I'll be honest. As long as the team from Canada doesn't win, that's really all I have.
Okay, all right.
That's kind of
One half of the hammer. Dahn. Cowboys. Tone Diggs is here.
Fair.
One game tonight. It's an NHL game.
Yeah, probably won't watch that one because both teams are from Canada and don't care.
No, what do you? Connor McDavid's awesome. To watch.
He
West
is.
Coast
He
Canada
is.
too.
Yeah.
What's this about?
Yeah, what is this about?
I'm cheering for your Dallas
Hey, I'm
Stars,
sure
pal.
Texas Hawk all the way, brother. But Cougars Edmonton, that's good puck right there.
What are you talking about?
Game 7.
Bryson
The best player in the league.
Yeah, okay, let's maybe start it at 7:15 instead of 10:45. How's that sound?
It is tough to finish some of these games or start some of them.
Bingo.
You know, once in a while.
Exactly.
Depending upon what's going on before it. But tonight, obviously, got Monday Night Raw right into an 11:15 puck drop.
Yep.
For the Cougars Oilers.
Raw's going to be elite.
Oh, it's going with Greensboro.
Semifinals that we're talking about?
Yep. Oh, the King and the Queen of the Ring. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
I remember. Is Dragonovsky still?
All sports are the
His name's Ilya
semifinals.
Dragunov.
NBA
I don't like that as much as Dragonovsky.
NHL semifinals. King of the Ring semifinals.
Yeah, we're in it right now. We are in it right now.
Right.
It's playoffs, baby.
Playoff season.
Yeah.
9-year NFL vet, a man whose team in the hockey's still doing it.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Darius J. Butler.
Can't wait.
Florida Panthers representing, obviously taking on Bruce's Rangers, who, they're a rough, tough bunch this year.
True.
But is anybody as rough and tough as the Florida Panthers?
Nah.
They're a bullying squad down there. You wouldn't expect that.
Talented. It's a hockey town down there now.
It is a hockey town.
All right, what?
It is a
What's everyone doing here?
What are you talking about?
I mean, I get it. I would want to be the hockey town as well, but we can't just every single team that's good at hockey say they're hockey town.
Well, Pittsburgh is certainly hockey.
That's this show's fault, by the way.
Yeah.
Actually, that's your fault right
Well,
there.
you got to get to the playoffs. You got to be in the playoffs to be considered hockey town.
Good point.
No, just Google it.
Don't
Just
talk
Google
about
it.
us, please.
Maybe Texas hockey's hockey town.
Okay, see, that's what you're talking about, Foxy.
Yeah,
It
this is
is
the problem.
disrespectful what everybody's doing.
Yeah.
Dallas might be the hockey town.
Sunrise, Florida is
yeah.
not hockey.
No, it's not.
Okay, but we do have Kachuk coming on. I do believe tomorrow.
So hold
Cannot
on.
wait to chat with him. He is a beast. He is a dog in every sense of the word. I do appreciate that you and Bruce are taking each other on. Florida favored. Here we go. Joining us now, he's a man who's won championships at the college level and a professional level.
Wide.
He's the current president of the state of Ohio. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk.
Yeah.
Hawker, how you doing, buddy?
I mean, I'm with D-But. When I walk down to Los Olas Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale, I think this is hockey.
Oh, yeah.
This is
We got
the
signs up.
grit. This is hockey town.
Yeah, dude, you're down on A1A, Beachfront Avenue, and
I was boots on the ground. I sent you guys a little shot.
there's flag.
Yep.
There's
Everywhere.
a flag on telephone pole down by the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Florida Panthers hockey.
Sitting at Louis Bossi's thinking this is a hockey town.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. Look at you guys diving into the hockey down there in Miami.
We got so many snowbirds from Boston, from New York. This is going to be great.
Mobsters coming
Great.
down.
Oh, yeah.
That's been happening since the beginning of time, seemingly.
Don't bring up Boston, okay?
Well, yeah, you guys are done now, so I won't.
Don't bring it up.
I won't. You're right.
Thank you.
What happened? What did happen to Boston Bruins?
I mean, look, you can't win all these games 2-1, all right? When you got a goalie standing on his head, you need goals, okay? We were scoring 2 goals max against these guys. I don't know what else you want to do. Boston needs to shoot the goddamn puck. That's what needed to happen. It's like, yeah, we don't have a lot of offense. Our best player needs to shoot the puck 15 times, and he won't shoot it.
Okay.
Win a goal puck on that.
And then, some stupid, shitty shot squeaks through Sway because all he's trying to do is get back on his feet because he's been standing on his head for 7 damn games. And then he squeaks. It's just horse shit. That's what it is. But we're on. It's basketball season, baby.
Let's go Celtics.
We're on the Pacers. We're on the Pacers.
congrats to Boston having that ability, and New York does as well.
Yeah, that's right.
The Rangers and the Knicks. You know, it's a real shame.
Pivot.
I don't know if you saw, I gardened earlier, AJ. I did some gardening.
I saw. Yeah, I was impressed by you gardening around the studio. Is that yours or is that Tim's? Who brought that in?
So actually, these were purchased from local Aces Hardware. DoorDash. You can DoorDash everything. You can DoorDash a hoe.
Yeah.
You can DoorDash a hoe. You can DoorDash a little hand shovel. Okay, you can do whatever you need to do. Shout out to DoorDash for making your life better. But the electric weed whacker is Zito's, and there was full conversation on whether or not we're going to buy a brand new one. You know, because Thunderdome probably does need a little weed whacker.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, because you clean up. I saw a guy this weekend. Had that son of a bitch up this way, walking down his sidewalk.
Nothing better.
Oh, my God. It was phenomenal. Yeah. His neighbor's Bush League looking ass grass. He sat on the front porch immediately after that and was like, look at fucking Ted's bullshit front yard.
Yep.
Right. He was killing it.
I bet.
That's real.
We need that here for the Thunderdome, but instead we just got Zito's because Zito does that at the house. I bet you Zito's front yard is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
What was that?
What was that about?
What was that, Tony?
What, you got some issues with his front yard?
No, maybe his new one. No, said maybe his new one. His old one, he self-admittedly let go a little bit.
Yeah, well.
I was in between lawnmowers.
Yeah.
I didn't have a deer.
I do recall the neighborhood app talking about Zito's yard. Now that you bring that up.
I did it for Halloween. I wanted tall grass so I could pop out and go, here's my candy.
He would actually drive around the neighborhood in a John Deere lawnmower, but wouldn't cut his own for the gimmick. So the neighbors were real pissed. This guy, he has a tractor. He has a lawnmower. How do you know? We saw him roll right down the middle of the street.
Every day driving in that thing.
Say, go to Uncle Frank's.
Yeah, they had local high school superstars mowing his lawn for a little bit there, too.
Yeah.
That's right. He swindled a couple local kids into cutting the lawn because their parents were about fed up.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, those kids got full rights to Ball State, by the way.
Hey, Church.
I bought them pads.
Nice.
Well, it's not only buying them pads, it's training them out there in the summer. It's getting hot. It's supposed to be 90 today here in Indianapolis with 400% humidity.
That's where we are now, right? From here on out, it seems like we are in the, the humidity, 88 degrees every single day, I feel like.
So the Indy 500 is this upcoming weekend, you know? And I'm
oh, I know. Everybody knows that.
You're damn
it's been race month. It's been race month, right?
Damn
I get
right.
it.
You're right. It's
Everyone's got their checkered flags, even in Ohio. I'm close to Indiana, and they checkered flags everywhere.
It's May in Indianapolis. I'm sure there's a lot of Ohioans coming over for the
there is
greatest spectacle in racing. 300,000 people will be embarking on this city here in a few days for the Indy 500. Kyle Larson of NASCAR is doing the double, the Indy 500, then the Coca-Cola 600 on the same day. 1,100 miles raced, brother. And we all know Kyle Larson has to be the greatest wheelman. Yeah. You know?
Yeah,
just has to be.
Doesn't have a choice.
I have no idea. I have no idea how else we are currently
motivated.
Weapon.
Has to be. It has to be so good.
This cat can drive, man.
He has to, and he can. Turns out. Guy almost got the pole for the Indy 500. First time NASCAR guy's done this in like forever or whatever.
Man.
Yeah, like he went into IndyCar and went to their qualies this weekend. He had to bail on one particular one because his car wasn't working right, but he ends up in the Fast Six. He's going to be fifth position, which is huge, massive, because it seems like he knows the track already. Gets another week of training. Then he hopped in a plane, then a chopper, and got to which.
Yep. Be careful.
Back in the news.
Once again.
Oh, yeah.
Inclement weather.
Need clear skies.
Exactly.
These helicopters need clear skies.
Yep.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Correct.
That is, Kyle Larson hops into a chopper, goes to the All-Star race, which obviously we all know because Kyle Busch and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Sr. got into a fight with each other. So there's a lot happening in in the race world this particular week. I think there's a bunch of
Monaco, F1.
What?
That's this week.
When's that?
That's this Sunday.
Is that right?
Who won this weekend?
Max by the hair of his chinny chin chin. Lando pushed it to the limit.
He always does.
We had a hell of a race with McLaren, but Monaco will suck. The race will suck. Qualifying will be great.
Yeah, but why do you guys put that on the same day as the Indy 500, do you think? Why does the F1 put that?
I mean, that's their
arrogance.
Super Bowl. That's their Super Bowl.
The Monaco is the Super Bowl or no?
I mean, it's the spectacle. It is a spectacle.
Why-
And cars
why is
have gotten
qualifying
too
better,
big.
though?
This sport
Why is
blows.
qualifying
Like,
better
can
than
we
the race?
just put it to bed?
In my
for
opinion,
once?
the cars have gotten, and this is what a lot of the mark says, well, the cars have gotten too big over the years for the track. The track, a lot of tight corners, turns.
So
We
they-
should get
they
Kyle
sh-
Larson there.
They should. I would hope that would
good.
potentially be able to happen at some point. Just to see where everybody's at. Why don't they do like a special? Because they have, those 24-hour races where people race different cars and they have, different. Why don't they just do different cars? Why don't they just do like actual cars around the city so that they can actually pass like cruising the world?
Or just do like a burlap sack race around the track
Moped.
instead.
Oh, you
That'd
think
be
like
much
maybe three-legged
exciting.
race?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
Hey, it's a little bit different. One of your teammates, you guys are going to be three-legged and you're going to run around the track. And that's how we're going to decide
A lot more competitive.
That'd be
so.
sweet. I'd watch that in a heartbeat.
That's what I mean. It's not a bad idea, I don't think.
At least for one race, maybe just one of them. No one's going to
I
notice.
did not expect that level of disrespect.
No, I just, I mean.
I thought we were brainstorming.
What if they did horses?
eyeballs.
What if they rode horses? What if the drivers rode horses?
Oh, on concrete, that'd be good. Like
With BB
Pebble,
guns.
Pebble, I think.
I think there was a horse race this weekend. Nobody knew about it, but it
Hey,
happened.
pretty
Oh, yeah, it was.
nasty.
Pretty
Yeah.
Way to go, clear.
Seize the
day.
gray.
Seize the gray.
That's right.
Seize the gray. Big win at Preakness. That was awesome running. Joining us now is a guy who's been on an incredible run as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, NHL legend. He was a Knicks fan somehow there for a bit.
But now,
Jay
Now
Tatum.
Jay Tatum.
Ladies and gentlemen, PK Subban.
Yeah, PK. There it is. Dorchester, baby.
Dot rat. Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, listen.
Tatum.
There it is. There. Oh, bucket.
Okay. So what happens if Knicks Celtics happened? Well, you would still do the Tatum impersonation, but you'd be a Knicks fan, or because remember it wasn't too long ago. Knicks in six. Knicks in six. That was your. Now we're all the way. We're wearing Dorchester shirts. We're all in on the New England area.
Love it.
Listen, I've been wearing Dorchester shirts since I was 20, so
Of
I've
course.
been going to the Dot for a while now. So I got to show love and respect to the neighborhood. My best friend's from there. His family's from there. So I got love for Dorchester. But I am truly disappointed that my Knicks aren't moving on, but they fought hard.
Yeah,
there wasn't much left of our team at the end of the playoffs, missing a lot of players, but
Oh, man.
we'll be back. We'll be back.
They did. Everything's going to be wow, right? You know what I mean? Doesn't it feel like that's a lot of that out of the Knicks fans? Everybody's hurt. We get it. This is professional sports. It's playoffs. I don't like it. Jalen Brunson was awesome. It was fun to watch him through this series. I got to go to a couple games because it was happening here in Indianapolis. He is fantastic to watch. DiVincenzo, that son of a bitch has one of these.
Oh, yeah.
And whenever it's, he is phenomenal. Looks cool out there as well. And then Josh Hart. I enjoyed that Knicks team, but it's like acting like you're the only people that have injuries. Like this is standard operating
Come on,
procedure.
Pat.
It's
Playoffs. It's playoffs.
It's playoffs.
happens.
This happens. This is what
Pat,
football
the whole
happens.
team.
What?
It's the whole team's injured. The whole team's
Jalen,
injured.
I just said a bunch of Josh
you're a
Hart.
hockey guy.
OG.
Yeah.
The injuries
He
happen.
played actually in the game 7. That was only for a few minutes because his hamstrings.
Now, Mitchell Robinson, that was a dirty play.
But,
Him being hurt, that stinks.
I loved watching their team, and I can't wait for it. But just the lack of Pacers, that was phenomenal. You just did a historical offensive. Yeah, thank you.
There it is.
Thank you.
There it is.
Thank you. That's all we're asking. We understand the Knicks weren't at 100%, but now you'll cheer for the Celtics, obviously, who are taking on the Pacers yet again. So we can't wait to deal with it. Let's talk hockey. Tonight, Game 7. Here we go. Cougars, Oilers. The Battle of Western Canada is taking place. What do we need to look for here? Who do we think is advancing to take on Texas hockey, PK?
Well, big loss for the Vancouver Canucks losing Brock Besser. That's one of my homies. This guy, they need this guy going into a Game 7 situation. They're going to be without him for what I'm hearing is the rest of the playoff run, which is a massive blow. And they've already lost their number 1 goaltender, the number 2 goaltender. So, they're a little bit thin. But
hold on,
PK,
that's because blood clots? Is that what it said?
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Man.
They're saying blood clots. So, I mean, you never know with this stuff. Is he gone for the rest of the playoffs or not? We know he's not playing tonight. That's a huge loss. Huge loss for the Vancouver Canucks. But I picked Edmonton to win in six games.
I'm betting on Connor McDavid tonight. I still think Game 6, even though he had 3 assists, wasn't anything close to his best game. There's still another level or two to his game, and I think that in Game 7, it's their game to lose. Edmonton coming off of a big Game 6. It's their time now. It's their time, and I'm rolling with Edmonton.
Okay, so this is a big deal for McDavid's legacy, or no?
I mean, look, everybody wants to push it there. Guys, I'm not going there with that.
Okay.
For me, there's another opportunity for him. Now, listen, if he comes and puts a goose egg on the board and he's nowhere to be found out there, that's a different story.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen. That's not McDavid.
That's not happening.
Yeah.
That's not happening. Every night he's been one of the best players on the ice. This is a tough time to win. And Edmonton, is as great as they've played all year, I still don't think they're the best team left in the Stanley Cup playoffs. I think Dallas is better than them. I think Florida's better than them. I think the Rangers are deeper than them. They're all better in net and on the back end. So if Connor doesn't win this year, it's not the end of the world, but that window is definitely closing. His opportunity to win a Stanley Cup in Edmonton, it's got to happen sooner than later. I mean, it's enough time now. It's time to get over the hump. So they're getting close.
I love those Edmonton fans.
Oh, yeah.
Love them.
I love them.
Crazies.
Send Connor to Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
Can we get
McJesus
in Pittsburgh?
For Crosby? Take care of a superstar.
No,
Crosby
we're keeping
for
Sidney.
Crosby for McDavid.
No, we're keeping Sidney.
Goes
Crosby.
from Lemieux to Sid to McDavid. We know how to take care of the boys, and we'll get them championships. They've all won championships.
Cops Lordo's coming home. Yeah.
In Pittsburgh with the Fenway Sports Group as the owner?
Yeah, they suck. What is going on? Allegedly, assumingly.
You guys want to get into that? You really want to get into that now?
Kinda.
Fenway?
Well, there's Game 7 tonight, but anything else, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'd like to stick to Game 7. I'm not getting into Pittsburgh and the Fenway Group. What's going on over there right now? I gotta see what they do over the offseason to get that team ready to compete. Is Sidney Crosby still having 40-goal seasons, still playing at that level? They got to be in the playoffs.
They're trying to buy another soccer team right now. Don't worry, they got more money to go around.
Yeah, a lot of people saying since LeBron joined, it's kind of changed.
No,
come on,
not a lot.
For shoot, brother.
You can't say that.
That's what they're saying. That's not me. I'm not saying that. Fenway Sports Group owns the Red Sox.
It is, and
they have gone like this.
Yeah.
Since one guy joined. I'm not naming names, okay?
You just did.
Not that time I did it. Not that time.
Oh, okay. All right. Anyway, so you don't like them. You don't think they're going to be good. That's what it sounds like.
Well, it's not that I don't think that they're going to be good. I just thought that it was a questionable decision. And everybody says, well, PK, it's a cap world. They had to move Jake Gensel out of Pittsburgh. But if you're going to move him, you got to bring in someone that helps you now. And listen, Bunting, great player, brings an element, but that's not enough, for me. So I was disappointed in that move.
Oh, yeah,
but I'm more
too.
disappointed. I'm more disappointed that Sidney Crosby isn't on the GM and who's putting that team together isn't putting him in the best position to make the playoffs every year and win when he gets there. Like, Pittsburgh should have been in the playoffs.
Agreed.
He shouldn't have missed the playoffs.
Agreed. Instead, Washington gets in easy. Rangers just kind of walk right through. And Penn's got hot late. They put himself in a position, though, that it was impossible to get out of. And then they trade away the guy who goes and leads the Carolina team in front of who was hitting the siren? Did we ever find out who hit the siren?
No. Like the rowing coach for NC State.
Oh, okay. Hey. Who?
Yep.
Yeah, bingo.
Who? That's what Jimmy Graham's going to do across the Arctic. AJ's got a question for you, PK.
PK, talking about Sidney Crosby and their whole organization, how does it work in the NHL? And we know in the NFL, certain quarterbacks have more kind of influence than others when it comes to front office, how they build the roster. Do you know if Sidney has some kind of control over there, if he is in the front office trying to manipulate the roster and bring the guys in that he wants?
Well, I'd like to hope so. I'd like to hope that he weighs in on it and they involve him in it and that he doesn't have to ask. I'd like to hope that they call him and they ask for his opinion on these things because he's a massive part of their organization and what they've built in Pittsburgh since he was drafted there. For me, it's the decision. When I look at Pittsburgh and where it went wrong, as great as Erik Karlsson is, and I love Erik Karlsson. I'm one of his biggest fans. I've competed against him. The guy's won Norris trophies. There's an element. Yeah, I know. Against. There's an element.
No, I'm not against it. I'm not against it. I'm just reminded of it every time you say it. It's great.
Yeah, I know. I can't help it. But with Erik Karlsson, there's an element of his game that he brings that is very, very difficult to find in the National Hockey League. But what he also brings is an $11 million cap hit. And for me, you got a guy like Chris Letang on the back end who already brings a lot of those intangibles. Yes, he's a little bit older than Erik Karlsson, but Erik Karlsson, you have to say, is kind of on the back part of his career now, right? And he's still got a lot of hockey left, but he's on the backside of that career. I just didn't see that move in terms of money making sense for the Pittsburgh Penguins. You know you got to re-sign Malkin. You know you got Crosby. You know you need to leave space to re-sign Gensel. I just didn't understand the need to go out and get a defenseman like Erik Karlsson. I think that there's a lot of teams out there that could use Erik Karlsson. Is Pittsburgh that team? I just didn't think that was the right fit. Now, Erik Karlsson could come back next season, win a Norris Trophy, be back in the playoffs with Pittsburgh, and everything is great.
Maybe.
But for this specific season, I just knew too much money. You got to manage the cap. That's your job as a GM. So I didn't like all the moves that they made, but that's just me. That's my opinion.
I like how much Pittsburgh Penguins we've been talking because they didn't make the playoffs, so they're not in the Eastern Conference Finals. The team that is, though, Darius has a question for you.
Yeah, I'm still riding high if our Panthers win over the
congratulations.
Bruins. Now we got a tough test, obviously, coming in with the Rangers this series. What should I know about this matchup between these two teams?
It's going to be a very, very physical, heated, emotional series. Now, you would say, well, PK, what's the difference between this series and every other Eastern Conference final? Well, I mean, when you think about what's at stake, the President's Trophy, New York Rangers now, 30 years, 94, they win the Stanley Cup. They have an opportunity to kind of repeat. And coming off of two really emotional series, and as much as they basically handled the Washington Capitals pretty easily, still an emotional series for them. They've been clicking, all cylinders go since the drop of the puck in the first game of the Stanley Cup playoffs. But now when I think about Carolina, they went through some adversity. Their special teams passed the test. Artemi Panarin is still playing some of his best hockey and looks poised to take advantage of the moment, not shy away from it. And then they have Igor Shesterkin, who in my opinion has been the best goaltender in the league this year. So all of that, it may not matter if the Florida Panthers come out and play their game. Because I'm going to tell you why. Florida comes out and they take a rink that might feel like an Olympic-sized rink that the Rangers have been playing on for 2 rounds, free beats, free passes, and they're going to shrink it to like a backyard rink. And when they do that, now it makes it very, very difficult to play hockey in the Stanley Cup playoffs when you know that you're getting hit every second. Everything's going to be a battle. It's elbow to elbows, hand-to-hand combat. That's right, elbow. It's in the corners. It's in the front of the net. And that's exactly what Florida's going to try to do. So a lot of 50-50 pucks, and that's Florida's game. So they're going to make this a tough, grueling series for the New York Rangers. And the Rangers got to get ready for that. They have to embrace it and like it. And I've seen the sandpaper in their game. I've seen the grit in their game during the playoffs. I'm not calling them soft.
What about the jam? What about the jam?
No jam.
No jam.
What's that?
They got grit
and sandpaper. Missing the jam.
Yeah.
Do they have jam?
The jam.
They have jam. They have grit and the jam.
You need jump and you need jam. You know that, PK.
The magical 3.
They need jump and they need jam. They play with a lot of jam. And I'm going to tell you something. Listen, if the Rangers don't elevate their jump and jam level, the Panthers are going to be jamming it down their throats.
Whoa, that's different.
Good Lord.
Okay?
Oh, jeez.
Well, I was going to say they're jamming it somewhere else.
Whoa! Hey, do not.
AI?
Hey, whoa.
Easy.
That
is how they roll the dog.
That was.
Hey,
who wins?
Hey, Tatum.
Tatum. He can.
Hey, so who wins, you think? Who's winning?
I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to stick with the Rangers, man. I think the Rangers got it all going on.
Way to go, Bruce. Good for the Knicks
I'm
fans.
going to take the Rangers in this series. New York is a hockey city, and now it's official. They've outlasted the New York Knicks. So once again, to prove my point that the New York City is a hockey city. So it's official now, and now they have a chance to win a championship.
What's your guys' problem? Why are you starting inner New York City beef? You know, I mean, there's no.
Hey, I'm not starting any beef.
Sounds like basketball team stinks, doesn't it? Oh, hockey's still here for you. Don't worry about it. That's what you were just saying.
Yeah, hockey's here, man. Listen to me. I knew from the very start of the year this was the Rangers' year. I watched them closely, played against them the past couple seasons. I really believe that this is their best chance to win a championship. They have enough with this team to do it, and now all the answers are in that locker room. They have a good enough coach, good enough goaltending. Their special teams has done well. Now it's up to the players. So I think they have enough to get it done, but the Florida Panthers are going to make it very, very difficult. And the biggest key to that series is going to be matchups. How are the Rangers going to match up against Barkov and Tkachuk if those guys are on different lines? Good luck doing that, because if you're going to keep Lindgren and Fox together against one of those lines, it's going to be tough to handle down low. So
going against one of those guys that's a big one.
Yeah,
it's a problem.
In the oven,
Barkov's a monster.
It is like you're in the oven the whole time. You're right. Going against Markov.
Barkov.
What trophy did he just win? Best defensive forward.
Selke. Selke.
Who? The Felke, hell yeah.
Selke Warren.
The Selke trophy.
I'm so proud of him.
You only won it because Bertrand retired. Everyone knows it.
He saved the game, too.
So as you were talking there, and we're pumped about Bark.
Hell yeah.
We're
Big Bark.
Bark. The dogs are barking down there.
Everything right.
You talked about the Rangers. You said they got good coach in Monty. You got good goaltending. Swayman, you got good special teams. I assume that there's a team that just for some reason, what's the deal? Connor has a question for you, PK.
Yeah, PK, I was lucky enough to go to the Bruins game on Friday night, and as we were walking out after that just devastating loss, a lot of fans were saying, like, hey, look, this team overperformed. You know, if you were to tell us that they would have gone to the second round, taken the Panthers 6 games at the beginning of the season, would have thought you were crazy. Is that the sentiment that I should feel after this game? And then about what do they need to do to get – can you just shut up for a second?
No.
I'm trying to ask him a real question about real hockey fans. About how real hockey fans. About how real hockey fans feel, okay? And no, I'm not going to be happy about it. I understand that some fans can feel that way if you're part of a team and you've rooted for a team that's never won anything, of course. The Bruins have won a cup in the last 100 years. So, yes, it is much different than a Lions fan. But with that being said, PK, what do the Bees need to do to get better? Pasta needs to take 50 shots a game even though he won't shoot the puck? Or do they need to go out and get another piece, maybe a Carlson, like you mentioned, that Pittsburgh shouldn't have done?
Yeah, for the Bruins, first of all, Bruins fans, sit back and enjoy the summer. You guys have been, I mean, they call Boston the city of champions, right? You guys have won so many
Don't say Jay Tatum. Don't say Jay Tatum. And don't say this after wearing a Dorchester and yelling about Jay Tatum, okay, brother?
Hey, I'm just saying he's a bad man. Just be careful, dude. Don't let him get. If he starts playing in the air, it could be trouble. Anyway, I'll say this. Bruins fans can definitely feel good about it. I know that it's not the result that you wanted. You wanted to see your team take that other step and vindicate what happened to them via the Florida Panthers last year, but that's just who the Florida Panthers are right now. They're a well-built team. I think that we can all respect the style of play in which they play come playoff time. A lot of players on that Florida team I'm sure that people would love to see on the other side playing for the Bruins. So you got to hats off to the Florida Panthers and Paul Maurice for executing. But for the Bruins and where they got to get ready, better. Number one, Swayman. I mean, this guy's all world. You could, listen, Swayman.
Amen.
I mean, seriously, he played outstanding for that team. And I think it's consistency for Boston. I think a lot of the pieces are in that room, but it's getting consistency out of those players. And I think Jim Montgomery did a phenomenal job. I really hope that everybody in Boston's singing his praises as well, because the guys love to play for him, and I really hope that he continues to be the bench boss in Boston for a long time. But those players got to look at themselves. I think that some of the guys got going a little bit too late. You can't get going too late in the playoffs. You got to get going right from the start. And I think Boston just took too long to find their game. They found it against Florida. They just found it too late. So it's the consistency element. And yes, I think they do need some help on the back end. You know, I'm sure Grizzlick won't be there, but someone that could come in and maybe offload, run the power play. I think that Charlie McAvoy's a great player, but he hasn't won a Norris Trophy yet. He's not a guy that's putting up 70, 80 points, 90 points a year as a power play guy. He's not in that conversation with the Yossi's and the Quinn Hughes and the Cale Makars in terms of what they can do offensively. So to have someone that can help out on the special teams on the back end, I think would help the Boston Bruins a lot. Now, is it $11 million that they need to spend? I don't know. That's the cap world. That's why I'm not a GM.
Maybe make it 15. That's hockey talk, boys in the back say they need a center.
Oh, yeah. Well, when you lose your top two in the offseason, Krejci and Bergeron. But I would agree with them.
Well, that's what he said. You need to make team better. That's hockey talking.
Depth down the middle. Every team, I'm sure, would love to add a top two centerman to their team. Like
I've been working on my face-offs.
Okay.
I just want to let them know. I've been working on my face-offs. What is the timing on that?
It's the NH.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah.
That's not what they do in the game.
That's what they should do.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because there's the way Dahn after the L is a real advantage. It's skill.
And it's a perfect 50-50 here.
Boom. Yeah, you can win that too. You can out-execute the person you're going against in the
boom, boom, like a thumb war.
Yeah, you can out-execute.
Yeah.
And those.
So Pat,
Pat,
at the end of every practice. So when I was playing in New Jersey, and pretty much my whole career, at the end of practice, the coaches will pull the D coach will pull the D aside, the wingers will get pulled aside, and then the centermen get pulled aside.
They win.
And they practice face-offs, and I'd always jump in there to try to take some face-offs as a D-man. It's such an art. Like you want to talk about pressure. I mean, if you start with the puck, that's everything. So face-offs are huge. It's one of the most difficult things in hockey. I have such respect for guys like Crosby, Barkov, Bergeron, that are unbelievable in the face-off circle. I wish I played with one of those guys in my career, I'll tell you that.
What is the rules? Because, I seen a little sumo wrestling. Micah Parsons won.
Mm-hmm. Good work, Micah.
I saw the sumo. I think I saw a documentary on them. They're phenomenal athletes. Yeah. And that is the next sport that should be tapped into, offensive line stuff, even though being a sumo wrestler is like being a god over there. The way that thing starts is I forget which side. One of them has the hand, then the other hand is like the signifier of this thing starting, I think. Does hockey have the same thing? Because I always see people get kicked out. They jump, how is it? The home team has to be down first? What is the
stick has to be down. So in that circle, the dot, there's a white slit and a white slit at the top and at the bottom. The centerman's got to have his stick on that spot before the ref drops the puck. If you move your stick, the ref can throw you out to judgment call. So a lot of times you got to hold before he drops that puck. You cannot move it. So if you watch right before the players they're fully set, and then the puck gets dropped.
Yeah, they're trying to get last, it seems like. It seems like they're trying to be the last one to put the stick down. What? I don't know.
Yeah, they want to be last to put the stick down because usually when the puck is dropped, it'll bounce, right? You either got to time it so you hit it as soon as it hits the ice, or you got to get it on the second bounce. So it's all schematics. It's all angles. And these centerman guys, they're extremely technical, in the circle.
I love that.
It's nuts.
Yeah, because there was one end of the game in the other team's end. I think it was icing or something. It was 7-8 seconds left. They're down 1. They have an extra person. It's all riding on you winning the face-off here. And it feels like I don't want to say luck, but it feels like there's a lot of luck potentially involved in there. But you're saying no, skill, never mind.
Well, actually, quick example. So Edmonton-Vancouver game 6, you saw when Evander Kane scored to make it 5-1, quick face-off play. Snapped it right back. He's sitting right behind the centerman, and it's in the back of the net. So face-offs are huge because you win the face-off, you can score within a second.
Yeah, it's a turnover.
That's why you want to win, right? You want to win every face-off.
Yeah, face-off's a turnover. That's literally what it is. You get the possession of the ball. They don't. That sucks for them. Great for you. I can't wait to see who is in the Western Conference Final after tonight's Game 7 between the Cougars and the Oilers. Thank you for crushing for us. Well, we really do appreciate it. All NHL playoffs here.
Pat, anytime for you. You guys know I love coming on, and just be aware of Tatum, dude. I'm just telling you, that Euro step, it's crazy when he goes like this and then he drops it underneath.
Tell him.
Just be aware next round. I'll be watching.
Have you seen Haliburton? He does a Euro step from foul line to 3-point line. And then does a slow step.
Quick. I know a lot of people listening might say, PK's not a basketball guy, but I'm going to give you 2 cents right now on your boy Haliburton and your Pacers. Number one, love him as a player. Great young talent coming up. But I still got to see him do it in the fourth quarter. Is he a guy that you completely trust right now?
Point, PK.
Late in the fourth quarter, taking those shots. I see him pull up. I see him pull up from the parking lot.
First of all, he's a point guard. First of all, he's a point guard. True point. I mean, so let's make sure we understand the role in the position. He ain't scared of nothing. What are we even talking about? He's talking right in John
hey,
what's that guy's name?
It's easy coming back. It's easy anticipating timeout calls by the Knicks when they're missing 90% of their roster after you hit a three-pointer. It's great. I want to see him do that against Boston.
Okay, we'll see if he can do it against Boston. Yep. And do you think the Knicks would have been able to do it against Boston if the Pacers can't? I doubt it.
Well, I think when he gets into that Celtic oven there in Boston, that he's going to get his goose is going to get cooked.
Yeah. Oh, that's what we're talking about right now. All right, hey, have a good one, pal.
Love you guys. Thanks, Pat.
PK Subban.
Yeah, PK.
What a human.
He knows ball.
He does.
Know ball.
Speaking of ball, let's talk about our particular ball. I don't know if you saw Tom Brady met Drake May over the weekend at the rookie premiere. You know, the NFL and the NFLPA have this big rookie premiere where selected rookies, doesn't have to be top 10 rookies, just selected rookies for teams, come out to Los Angeles seemingly, and they put on a uniform, they take some photos, they dap each other up, they congratulate each other, they catch up with some old friends. And then the select few get a chance to go have brunch with Tom Brady, Michael Rubin, and Jay-Z.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Big storylines out of it. First, Fanatics is suing Marvin Harrison Jr. That's the guy in the middle there.
Yep. Big time.
Yeah, Michael Rubin suing him.
Was he there?
Our name's actually mentioned in it because Marvin Harrison Jr. reposted what we said, which was from our source, Sis, about the situation. That is going one step further. Once again, we like to say, let's figure it out. Hey, let's figure this one out, team. Yeah. Let's figure Harrison Jr. did accept Fanatics' offer, says Michael Rubin, even though he reposted something in an attempt to mislead the public from the Pat McAfee Show. So another lawsuit, of course. We just did journalism. We just did journalism.
That's right.
Once again, we hope they figure that whole thing out. But select rookies got a chance to go sit down and have, they say, would you rather have $500,000 or would you rather have a meal with Jay-Z? Or would you rather have $1 million or eat with Tom Brady, Jay-Z, and Michael Rubin? Right. And these guys are getting chances to get both. These guys are getting big-time signing bonuses, and they're also getting a chance to learn game from these guys. The photo of Tom Brady and Drake May had the entire world saying, like father, like son. Con man, I assume you're, when you saw this photo on Instagram, you, I assume, behaved in a very rational manner.
Well, I mean, I just hope you guys have enjoyed the Patriots not being good at football. Okay. I hope you've enjoyed, the Patriots not being who the Patriots have been for the last 25 years. Because, I mean, you look at that photo right there. Sure, the one of him and Brady, yeah. I mean, they look like the spitting image of each other, first of all, minus some other things, if you know what I'm talking about, the chins. But, again, the other photo, the one on the left, Drake May is the biggest son of a bitch in this photo by a lot.
He's furthest away.
Furthest away. He's standing in the very, very, very back, and he is towering over everybody. I mean, I couldn't be more happy. If I'm Bo Nix, I'm never standing next to Drake May ever again for the rest of my life because of the way that Drake made him look. But, I mean, you can't not look at that and say, like, yeah, this guy's not going to win a Super Bowl. He's going to win a Super Bowl. Look at the knowledge that he gained from Tom Brady. Now, the rest of them, I don't know. But from Brady about New England, probably, where to go. Hey, where to eat in Boston. Hey, this is where they have the best, prep for all the things that you need. So, yeah, as a Patriots fan, I saw that, and I was immediately 6 to midnight. Didn't even care about the Bruins' loss after seeing that photo.
As a show that is currently referenced in a lawsuit from the company, we are not going to run the video from the company.
Sure. Okay.
But Tom Brady did give a speech. It feels like we'll learn.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. We've been down this whole road.
Yeah, a couple times.
Not before. But Tom Brady's messaging about, hey, big team, little me. It's not good for me, it's good for us, is the entire conversation. Feels like that's really his life motto that he wants this next generation to know. He's been preaching this for a long time, and I think it's because the more you learn about Tom, the more you learn, hard coaching, took care of his guys, and he did 20-plus years in a locker room. That guy loves the team, I think, from the video that I watched there.
Yeah, remember last year what C.J. Stroud and the boys were all there, and they had this whole get-together with Rubin and Brady and everything. And it sounds like they actually got some beneficial stuff, but when an old guy comes back, and I'm not calling Tom old, but for these guys, yeah, he's played forever, but they know he's very relevant to them. When someone wants to like preach to you and tell you what you should do, the majority of athletes will tune that out. But when it's a guy like Tom Brady, they're much more apt to open their ears and actually listen to somebody. So I think Tom's one of the few guys that can get the point across.
What are you talking about? That rookie symposium?
That was great.
Yeah.
I remember everything.
That was awesome.
People just yelling at you and telling you how terrible you are the whole time, and you don't know what you're doing, and you're a terrible professional. Like that's what they like to do to you. I'm like, all right, yeah, some people might be, but not everybody.
Yeah, I think this is a much better use of rookies' time than the symposium. But, I mean, I might be wrong. The symposium might be a little bit different. Symposium, big, we covered our ass. We told everything.
Sure.
Okay? Of course. Has to happen. We very much understand that. But I don't think I've ever met a person that's gone through that thing and said, yeah, I love that. That was a good thing. Right? I should have listened more.
What?
I ended up getting arrested. Public intoxication. Less than 2 years after that. I probably should have listened, but the way they were telling me how disrespectful I was in the locker room already, I was like, you got the wrong guy.
Did they tell you not to get arrested?
A few times.
I was somewhere in there. Somewhere. Just, I mean, most of it, hey, when you walk into a building, whatever happens in that building, your name is going to be the headline. That's the thing you need to know. You need to have, good people around you, smart people around you. And obviously, these guys that were there, that were invited, they're on a different level, and they're coming in with money, and they're coming in with agents and NIL and all those different things. Tom Brady's message, I know, was, hey, this is kind of still the only place in that locker room where you still be one of the guys, and it's about the team, and your accolades, your deals, all that stuff will come with it. I think it was dope for them, to you guys' point. Dope sitting and listening to Jay-Z. Obviously not an athlete, but has done great things on the business side of things. I'm sure Ruben as well.
He's a billionaire. There's 2 billionaires there?
2 billionaires, yeah. Probably, soon to be 3, so good knowledge there.
Yeah, I would like to. Wait, you think they ate some of that weird shit?
Like the players,
scrambled eggs and bacon.
Very weird.
You think there was even an option at this brunch for French toast? No way.
No. I mean, you probably didn't. Even if they had signs telling you what the food was, you still probably didn't know what it was.
Oh, you think it's that type of menu?
Foie gras.
It's like right here in front of you too, listed out. This is going to be your first course.
I've never heard of any of this.
Yeah, Brady's not.
When we get to the 4th course here, I think I know that word there. Froleta. What is that?
Probably.
I've been at 4 of those events. 4 of them.
Are they fun?
Oh, buddy. 4. I am not the person that's supposed to be there.
What?
Yeah, they're all pretty similar. They just tell you what you're eating, and then you don't know what it is, and they come and...
You got to bring your own food. Yeah.
Yes, you do, because the size of this thing, literally, this is what you're getting. This is what you're getting right here. Congratulations, we brought you a cookie cake to celebrate your birthday. Wow. And it is actually this. Like, that is actually what it is. And they go, this is made of the finest dough. Yeah. I don't think so.
Please. Give me 55 of them, please.
You eating yours? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you're doing. You're looking around to see who's not eating their food. Hey, don't give that back. No, I'll take it. There we go.
It's the only thing that's been good the whole fucking day. Of course, everybody's eating this thing. You got any extras? No, of course. Jeez. Let's talk about, we're going to, I believe, be joined here in a matter of moments, hopefully. Maybe not. By a member of the team that had a simulcast for the PGA Championship. No laying up. I don't know if you saw this. It was on ESPN2 during the PGA Championship. I thought it was a cool concept. Obviously, we've been a part of simulcasts. Simulcasts are not necessarily the easiest thing to do and be entertaining and be good. I think they did a fantastic job. I like that the PGA Championship and ESPN are expanding the ways. I was able to watch Scotty Scheffler's round. Just him. Just him with Harmon and I forget who else.
It
was it Hubs?
Nope. Wyndham, right?
Yes, Wyndham Clark. Yeah, they were in there, and this is just following the morning in which he got arrested and had an orange jumpsuit on already for the mugshot. I got arrested for public intoxication. They did not put an orange jumpsuit on me. I was in the back of a paddy wagon, of course, and I got the whole treatment, the processing, sitting in the thing. They put this orange jumpsuit on immediately. Oh yeah. Hey, welcome to jail. Out of it. In this
sweet V-neck.
Why couldn't you get his whole head in the frame? Every picture I've seen, they've cut the top of his head.
I saw one. that had the full one.
Okay, so there is a full one because I'd be worried about them. Whoever's taking their picture, hey, we can't even get their full head in the picture.
So first, that's why I thought it was fake too. Like Golf Digest was the one that tweeted it, and I actually, after learning of the whole situation, because obviously we were off, and it was like the topic of conversation for everywhere. It was on the morning national news. I mean, it was. Yeah. It was absolutely everywhere. When that photo hits the internet, I think to myself, that can't be real because the head was chopped off. I assume what happened here, and I might be wrong, but it's like somebody in the jail has access to that and takes a right?
Yeah, screenshot of the
That's not like the official release. You know, because how quickly it was up.
Yeah.
How quickly he was in the orange jumpsuit. That was like mind blowing.
That was fake.
Me too.
Everybody
should have played in it. Should have played that day in that.
Oh man,
that would have been so.
If he would have wore like a Ricky Fowler Puma,
yeah,
you know, like a Ricky Fowler Puma orange, that would have been awesome. That would have been enjoyable. But instead, we thought that was going to be the story, that Scotty Scheffler was going to use his form of the Mamba mentality. His form of locking out the noise. What's the noise? Getting locked up.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Jail time. Actually, we go on to say that did some stretching in a jail cell this morning. That was a first for me. Yeah. A first for me. Once I kind of started knowing things were going to go a certain way, I started lubricating myself up. The other people that were in the jail obviously had some situations. You know, there was a kid next to me that was in a drunk tank, and he actually got arrested at the golf tournament the night before. And he was actually following my group the whole time. So he got so intoxicated following me yesterday that he got arrested, is in the drunk tank, and then he woke up next to me. You should have seen him. That kid lost his shit. That kid, he still thinks he's on LSD, but instead I told him, no, this is Scotty Scheffler. And then I did some calf raises, some hamstrings, and some twisties, and that guy actually helped me out. So I'd like to give him a shout out. And then I would go on to shoot 5 under. Okay, immediately afterwards. So I thought that was going to be the story. Had to be. That was going to be the story. But then you start watching these guys golf. Everything that we were told to by the Junkyard Dog.
Yeah.
DB. From the Tour Junkies. Now, who he picked to win, completely wrong.
Yes.
Okay, completely wrong. DeChambeau, you liked. We talked about him a little bit because he could hit it far. But these dudes were attacking the green. I mean, it was fun to watch. Putts were falling. Anytime you're near 21 under, 20 under for the winner, obviously there's a lot of action. But Hovland got hot. Rory had a time where he was supposed to go. DeChambeau obviously was going to win that thing if that goes to extra playoff holes, I think everybody's thinking. And then Xander Schauffele somehow, with Morikawa in his group having a little bit of a day, a little bit of a struggle, can't make a birdie. Can't do it, but he's still in it, hanging in there. Rory McIlroy posted, it's like Xander, for his first major win, had to play great golf, and it was entertaining all around him. Feels like the major lived up to the hype, and that's on 18 there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to make
he could have easily sculled that right into the wall. Like, that one could have gone very, very poorly.
What a win for this dude for his first major, though. He had to be an absolute dog, and he was on a Sunday, knowing that he had to be. And that was kind of the conversation. I assume he felt as if the weight of the world was lifted off his shoulders when that ball went around and around and then inevitably fell down, and he's a major champion.
I mean, so I watched, like, the majority of this tournament, especially on Sunday. Xander, I was nervous for Xander the whole time because I'm thinking, like, all right, I know what this guy has to be going through in his brain. I couldn't think. Going up that 18th, when he's teeing off and then everything about it, and the fact that he actually gets a birdie to win that thing when everything is on the line, he knows too, like, hey, if I miss this and we go into extra holes against Bryson, like, I do not have the momentum. That is for sure. Yeah, this changes the kid's his whole life forever from here on out.
His legacy forever. Yeah. Major champion. Xander. Congratulations. And to your point about knowing what he's thinking, I think that's because the American Century Championship that I have gone to play in a couple times, you've played in, I think, since it literally started back in 1985. But there was like a couple short putts. And I'm thinking in my head what I would be telling myself, don't let this be the fucking one. Yeah. You know?
It's a lot harder than it looks. Those short ones are a lot tougher than they look when something matters, too.
Yeah, because when you're lined up over top of it, it's like, you can't miss this one. You know, and then you almost, then you're
The one that he made to win it was like, hey, this is a putt that professionals make a lot, okay? But this is also a distance where you could definitely, like, that was the worst distance I think he potentially could have had.
Well, then if he misses that putt, like the way, like if it lips out, then like, wait a minute. Now we're talking like, okay,
crowd goes
now
crazy.
Like I got a 4-footer for par, and if I miss this, I lose. Like there is no, you go from like, okay, I can win with this putt. I should have made this putt, and now it's like, okay, now I could really choke.
Small little putter head.
Yeah.
Small little putter head. Because I was thinking to myself, man, there's not a lot of room for air there. He's got the putter head's about the same size as the ball, because everything we just laid out there is feasible in golf, and we've seen it before. And it was the kind of conversation about him by some circles in the golf world. So every single shot, you're right. That's why it was so exhilarating, I think, because we're all wondering, is he going to collapse? Is he going to collapse? And he didn't. It was good golf week.
Oh, yeah. Love that par 5 to finish, too.
Yes.
I think, was that the same hole Bryson Eagle on the chip out?
On Saturday, yeah.
On Saturday, the day before, yeah. It was great. And Just great. We say it all the time. It's great seeing all the guys. Like that leaderboard on Saturday and Sunday. Like that was just a phenomenal finish.
I'll say it.
Uh-oh.
Okay, he doesn't look happy out there. He's throwing clubs. Rahm needs to give all the money back, okay, and he needs to go back to the PGA Tour. He's talking about how he still feels like a member of the PGA Tour.
True.
He doesn't seem happy. I just want the guy to be happy. He needs to give all the money back and just go back to the PGA Tour because we can't be missing cuts if you're Jon Rahm. Okay, we need to have him at the top of the leaderboard.
Let's not be giving back all life-changing money there.
No, you don't have to give it all back.
Life-changing money.
Like 50 million.
But like Scotty's won like 30 million this year. Rahm would be fine probably with that in a year.
No, and also he's currently in the celebration stage of that.
It doesn't seem like it.
Couple of these guys, I think, have gone through this, and then they're like, "All right, we got to get back." And, yeah.
DJ's really in the celebration.
I was going to say, DJ does
celebrate. Deej will celebrate. Deej will celebrate. And that's why we love him. It certainly is.
Yeah.
What a Monday back here on ESPN. We can't thank you enough for joining us. Monday Night Raw tonight on USA. Semifinals of King and Queen.
Oh, yes.
I cannot wait. Where is it again?
Greensboro, North Carolina. It's probably going to be 1,000 degrees. Can't wait to get there.
Beautiful. Beautiful spot.
It's going to be a great night. It's going to be electrifying. North Carolina wrestling crowds normally
good crowd.
Very, very good crowds.
Oh, yeah.
Excited to get down there this evening, and we'll continue on YouTube, ESPN Plus, and TikTok still.
The time being.
Yep. That's gotta get
Count your
figured out.
days.
Time is ticking.
Yep.
We need somebody with a lot of money to figure that one out.
Yep.
Stat. Because we love that platform. Very positive.
Yeah.
Useful.
But it's on deck. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Take care. Goodbye. Nailed it right on the screws.
Yep.
Bam.
Fresh off a 4-day, AJ. Fresh off a 4-day. Speaking of
It's
baseball.
like riding a bike.
Yeah, it is. It is kind of like riding a bike, and then I'll forget how to ride a bike tomorrow whenever I inevitably miss it. But nonetheless, how about baseball? Whenever you're talking about, hitting something right on the screws there, as the hard out professional journalism shit takes place there. Baseball had a weekend, didn't it?
Paul Skeen's all right. He's a decent player, isn't he?
Not too shabby.
Yeah.
How about the big gas station? Huh? Not the gas station the guy had his penis out in. I'm talking the gas station in which he is a man.
That guy's a dog.
Yeah, not just
wild animal, obviously.
Couple dogs.
I'm talking about the big gas station. The man that got a baseball, and the only thing coming out
one thing up his rectum.
Yeah,
the
big gas.
The gas station guy.
I'm talking about the big gas station.
Okay.
I mean, that guy was pretty big.
Yeah. I mean, he was comfortable, but I'm just talking about the big gas station. 11 strikeouts.
100th pitch was 100 miles an hour. That's what's very, very impressive, I think.
Yeah, he didn't wear out, didn't get tired. He had a lot of action on his pitches as well. His 7 strikeouts to begin a game set a record for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Congratulations to the Pirates having a guy. It's second most behind, obviously, a couple studs, DeGrom being one of them, for the longest run by a rookie in MLB history. Okay? So, Skeens had a 6.75 ERA after his first game because he left 2 ducks on a pond, and then they would inevitably come home after he gets pulled after 4 innings. This time, he had a no-hitter going. Could have had a damn perfect game. Ty, this is the guy. We got the guy.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. I was telling Diggs, I get it because it's only his second start. I wish they would have let him throw 180 pitches because this is kind of what we were talking about. This is why he is never going to strike out 20 guys in the game.
Which would cost us $1 million.
Exactly.
Couldn't find the game on TV. Couldn't fucking watch it. But all I would get is updates. Yeah, amen. All I get was updates is this guy's got 7. Hey, hold down. They got 8. Holy shit. How many is it? 9. 11. How many innings into this thing is he? 5? I'm like, what? No. This dude is just setting them up and knocking them down. This dude is a beast. I thought he was going to get the record, but to your point.
Yeah, he just still so young, you can't just burn his arm out. But he's also, when you look at his stuff, he's the guy who, as we get into the warmer months, he will be, you send him out there for 8 innings, he's still going to be throwing 100, 101 late in the games. He's only going to get better, which is crazy when in your second start, you're throwing 6 innings of no-hit ball with 11 Ks. It's easy to be hyperbolic about something like this, but this guy is fucking amazing. He is.
Yeah, boys are back. Boys were buzzing. You had Jared Jones go on Friday, and he had an unbelievable performance again, and then Skeens going on Saturday, unbelievable. Yeah, Foxy texted me and said how come he was taken out of the game with 100 pitches. We want this guy for World Series runs, okay? It's not about game 2.
Of course.
Okay?
I agree.
This is about the future of Paul
But
Skeens.
that's never going to happen. So let's get a no-hitter.
Have you seen fucking Paul Skeens pitch, pal? You know the Hundo boys?
Hey, I love him.
What do you mean it's never going to happen? The Lions should have been in the Super Bowl this year. Okay?
That wasn't supposed to happen.
That's fair.
So you guys are trading the Pirates for the Penguins. You're
Ooh, I like that.
transferring, transferring
the city will
the
not
terrible
like
team
that.
to the Penguins, and you're taking the Pirates as your new Prince who was promised.
Listen, it would have been nice if growing up that the Pirates would have been good one time.
Absolutely.
I heard glory days of back in the day when the Pirates were okay. And the only thing the Pirates were good for most of my life was just going down to a game.
Yeah.
It's a nice ballpark.
Jim Leland.
Something to do, isn't it? Middle of the day, yeah, let's go down there. Maybe catch a foul ball.
Sure.
Yeah.
With a
Sweet hat.
with a pool cleaner.
Yeah, I had a fishing net. Fishing net.
There it is.
Yeah, so if it didn't take a
Full
fishing net.
skimmer would have been cool too.
Yeah, pole skimmer, good idea. You're going to have to reinforce that net. You're gonna have to which the fishing net, not all fishing nets are good either. We learned that in the parking lot of, what's the color of the lot down there?
I got a gold lot probably.
Gold lot, yeah. So I had this is my biggest fishing net yet. And had to test it out, see if it would be good for baseball. Didn't have a baseball, obviously. So beer cans.
Oh, okay, sure. Full beer cans.
Similar.
Yeah.
Thought they were similar weight.
Just about.
Similar weight. Yeah, turns out it didn't catch a single fucking one of those.
Okay.
But it holes
Yeah.
It went right through.
Everywhere.
right through the entire thing.
big.
You need to have something like that, though. And I assume in most stadiums nowadays, bullshit. You're probably not allowed to take just full-on fishing nets into stadiums anymore. But you need to have a glove, and you need to have your eye on the ball. Check out what happened to Liz here from the...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Shit. 110 mile an hour foul off.
Boba shit.
Bat. Yep.
Dante's kid?
Yes, it is.
Nice.
She ate that thing.
She did. And then the fucking Blue Jays just ghosted her. Didn't give her anything.
That's
Hey,
Canada.
I'm sorry. Get a
That's
fucking
Blue
ice
Jays,
pack.
brother.
That's Canada.
And that's why we're rooting for an
Exactly.
American team to win the Stanley Cup.
Exactly.
Because how the Toronto Blue Jays treated Liz.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
that's
not right.
That's right.
It's not right.
We stand together.
At least give her a fucking signed bat by Boba Fett or something like that. Or
I'm sure they will. They got nothing but...
Well, now they're going to.
Like a
She's
signed
like,
ice
listen,
pack?
I'm growing another fucking head over my eye.
Did she
'cause
keep the ball?
No, she didn't get anything.
No, she got a ball. It actually.
All right.
Give her a fake ball like Shohei did.
How?
Oh, Yeah. Amen.
Whoa.
Speaking of baseball, we hope Liz is okay, and we feel like the Blue Jays will figure it out.
Good luck.
Yeah, they will.
They
Blue
better.
Jays.
How did she get hit? Where's the net?
That's a good question.
Where's the
Where
net?
was
She's
she
probably
sitting?
further
Yeah.
up on either the first or the third base side.
Oh, you're thinking pool
Oh, yeah.
around net?
Yeah,
They got
for
those
sure.
nets pretty...
Yeah, I think they usually
Pretty far down,
end like, maybe like a quarter way up the dugout. So
To be clear, I'm not like the most pumped about those nets being where they are. It makes sense.
they're not great.
It does make sense.
Because like foul ball, like that used to be a part of it.
You got to keep your eyes on the ball. You got to watch the game.
did.
You're
Active.
You're in the
Did she
arena.
watch? Did she watch that right into her face,
Yes.
or did she take her by surprise?
110 is tough. That
You can't-
takes out anybody. Yeah.
Pretty skilled, yeah.
Could you imagine that fishing net right in just sitting there?
Trying to hold right in front of your face.
Yeah. So I did not know people could still get hit like this. Since they can, let's make the nets better. Okay, we don't need this.
She was wearing her hat right. It would have blocked it.
She
couldn't
wear a hat because the ball on her forehead.
Yeah. And she did her hair for the game, asshole.
I got attacked for wearing my hat backwards.
By who? Coward?
Some people on the internet. They said it looks bad.
At the Pacers?
Yeah, I had to.
Oh no! You better not do it anymore.
You can't own a basketball team if you wear a hat back.
Well, the issue. Well, Ryan Smith, has he updated his profile photo?
Yes, he finally did. He doesn't look like an absolute prick now. In a good way.
You look like a prick. You look like an asshole.
Sorry. Same difference.
He didn't look like an asshole. He looked like a weirdo.
Yeah.
Yeah, dipshit.
Yeah, there you go. Dipshit. Weirdo.
Freak.
Like me.
Much better.
He's not. We're joking.
He's a great guy. He's a great guy.
This dude's like an American dream story. This dude,
How cool he is now.
this dude dropped out of high school, owns a team in the NBA and the NHL, and he can look like that. And that's how cool he normally looks.
Yeah.
And the photo he chose to have as Twitter,
Yeah.
it made no sense.
Like F1 mark.
Hairline like Fox body.
He did have a hairline like Fox
Come
Body.
on. That's not true.
Fox body
bit.
catches straight.
Body's got a nice comb over.
Fox Body's a dog.
Fox body is a dog.
Anyways, Ryan, we appreciate you, Ryan. I assume the survey for the new team ownership at the NHL is going good because Qualtrics will handle it. Joining us now is a man who was a part of a simulcast for the PGA Championship this weekend. Part of the No Laying Up podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, Sully. Hey,
What's up, fellas? How we doing?
I should have been more clear on the Eastern times. That's on me, buddy. That's on me.
That is 100% on me. I'm in the Central Time Zone today, and I'm never in the Central Time Zone. And my mom's texted me like, "Why aren't you on TV yet? You told me you would be." And I was like, "Oh, I better run upstairs and get on here."
Hey, real quick, Central Time Zone, good one though. And we're in the Eastern Time Zone, but the Central Time Zone we've all kind of voted on, I think.
Yeah.
And we're kind of thinking that it's maybe the best one. Is that how you feel after a weekend down there?
I used to live in Chicago. That was the best. Like, games kind of get started a little bit earlier. I get into your late 30s, man. It's hard staying up for some of these late night sporting events. I never thought I'd be the guy that says that, but yeah, your late 30s, they'll get you pretty quick.
Amen. Yeah, we're all old. We're all getting there, but we'll catch up in the morning.
Yeah.
We'll catch up in the morning. Speaking of catching up in the morning, here we go. Okay, so you guys are simulcasting the PGA Championship. Scotty Scheffler is in jail the morning of Friday of a major championship as he's outside of the golf course. Obviously, there's a misunderstanding with the police. Everybody's thinking that all charges are going to be dropped. We all assume that is the case, but hey, we have no idea what is going to end up happening. And, whenever humans and potential, I'm not going to say it. Don't say it.
You can say it. We're all thinking it.
It's part of it.
Egos get involved. And I'm not saying it's everybody has this particular issue in any profession at all, but humans have made decisions before that aren't stupid. But we're all assuming that all these charges are going to get dropped. But what a wild start to a Friday for Scotty Scheffler and for the major as a whole. What are you guys thinking as this is all taking place, breaking down what you're going to say, how you're going to handle it, and what is the golf world saying about all of this right now?
You're not expecting breaking news when you wake up on like a Friday morning.
Hey, real quick. This cop says he's going to jail and there ain't shit you can do about it to Jeff Darlington. That is literally the quote right there. And then Jeff Darlington goes, I'm media. He goes, oh, okay. All right. Did not care. This guy, I bet this guy card game, awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
Right here. Just would like to let that be known.
In this scene, however.
But the whole situation, this whole situation, wild. And you're right. I'm sorry. Couldn't even expect that.
Oh, good. I mean, I woke up and, I'm taking care of dad duties in the morning, and I had to run to my wife. I was like, all right, I need some help here. I'm about to tell you something. It's golf related. I'm going to tell you something that's going to shock you, and you're not going to believe what I have to say. But Scotty Scheffler's in jail right now, and I've got to get to work like immediately, right? And if you'd have given me a draft of like, hey, there's 156 guys in this field, like, hey, somebody is in the slammer right now. Somebody is like literally not going to maybe make their tee time. I might have gotten to 150 in that draft before I would have taken Scotty Scheffler being the one that this would happen to. So it honestly took me like 10, 15 minutes to understand exactly what was happening and how shocking it was. And it was kind of also amazing just to see. I mean, I'm in my own little niche golf world. Like, not all golf stories expand out the way this one did. I mean, this made just beyond sports news. This was in mainstream news cycles Friday morning of the PGA Championship. Oh, yeah. And I mean, he went out and shot a 66 afterward, but, he was kind of running on adrenaline, and we all said it Friday night. It was like, tomorrow's the day, man. I mean, after, kind of getting a little bit of time for it to sink in what happened. I mean, he was hit with a felony charge. I don't know if that's the right nomenclature to be using, but I mean, it's pretty serious charges that were out there against him. Like, you get a chance to sleep on it and kind of download everything from that day. And it clearly affected him Saturday. He did his best not to make excuses about it. But I mean, I think we look back at this championship. He's had one of the most incredible starts to a season ever. There was a legitimate chance that he could win the Grand Slam this year. Plus, he won the Players' Championship this year. It was it's a true shocker that this happened, and it would have taken a massive weekend for him to match Xander Schauffele's 21 under par, but it was possible. And yeah, it threw a huge wrench in this weekend's PGA Championship.
Yeah, and through 3 or 4 holes, he bogeyed, double, whatever it was on Saturday, which kind of holds him back for Sunday, which we're all incredibly bummed out about. But when you think about him saying in the press conference afterwards, he was like, I don't want to talk about the situation, just want to talk about golf. And then every time they asked about the situation, he gave a little bit more. He gave a little bit more, gave a little bit more. And then he talked about I actually started stretching in the jail cell. So that's a first, obviously, to get ready to play today. I would have thought Friday, you said that on Friday, you guys thought Saturday was going to be the day where he kind of lets down because of the adrenaline dump and all that type of thing. I just feel like he's a robot. I just feel like he's a machine. That is literally how I view Scotty Scheffler. So when he gets that bogey and then a double bogey, it's like, is this guy broken all of a sudden? And then immediately comes back on Sunday and shoots a 6 under or whatever. It's like, we should still look for Scotty Scheffler to maintain his dominance as we continue this season here, right?
Well, again, another wrinkle just thrown into his life is he and his wife just had their first child last week. So that was kind of the storyline coming into it. He sleeping in the hospital chair last week. Is he going to be prepared for this championship? How much practice time has he gotten? This is obviously a huge life change. We thought that was going to be the hardest thing for him to overcome. So that's still, kind of a story going on in his life. Is it, how is newfound fatherhood going to affect your play into the rest of the season? But I would expect, I mean, like we said, we saw a blip in the radar on Saturday. It's literally his first over par round of the season. Like, it's absolutely incredible what he's produced so far. He has the same amount of days. This was a tweet that was going around from Kyle Porter. Same amount of days in jail as he has over par rounds in 2024. It's people get carried away when people say this in the golf world. And listen, if you listen carefully, he's the best player we've seen since Tiger. And that's not comparing him to Tiger. It's just like, since Tiger did what he did, Scotty's been the best to come along since then, right? And it's been a really lengthy, sustained era of really, really good golf. It's hard. You can't really call it dominance because kind of the extra level of winning has only hit this season, but he's figured out his putting. He won his second major championship. Now the question is just going to be, weirdly enough, he has not won in a calendar year past the month of April. All of his wins in his career so far have come between the months of February and April. I don't have any rationale or reasoning as to why that might be, but that's an interesting kind of storyline as we get into the final two major championships of the season.
Yeah, as you get worn out, he just can't close on Sundays whenever it's late in the season. We shall see. He's top 5 in everything, even whenever he's not. Yeah. He's top 3 whenever he's not. He is. And they were talking about him, being, I believe AJ Hawk said, this guy's a wet blanket at the beginning of this entire thing. I think.
I don't know.
That's what you said.
I think I said. I think I always said he's too good of a guy. He seems like too good of a human.
Too nice of a. Oh, I'm sorry. That was probably. I forget somebody.
I've called other people wet blankets. Yeah, I have called them.
1,000% that was me. But then he won the Masters, and he was so good at golf that I put that away. He's so good at golf. It's entertaining.
Too. And his beard is good. Yeah.
The beard helps.
He doesn't need to talk. Like, even though his press conference was entertaining after he goes to jail. Like, he did a good press conference after he went to jail. Didn't he thanked the cops. Super smart. We're in the middle of a situation here. The way he handled that. And then also was like a little bit, I thought I did everything I was told to do. And then, I'm stretching in a jail cell.
Yeah, got a cop diving on top of my hood.
Yeah, that's what I'm. And obviously, we appreciate officers a lot and cops and everything like that. Like, every day, you potentially don't come home. Like, very appreciative. But there is some situations, and obviously the world has seen them, where some cops just potentially, not all cops, but some cops act like assholes. Sometimes because they have a little bit of power. I'm not saying that this is the particular situation, but we can't see it because there's no body cam footage.
Exactly. No.
So we're not able to really see it. But we have Jeff Darlington's thing, where Jeff Darlington was literally sitting right there, and he seemingly says that there was a lot of confusion because of the devastating accident that happened down the road, and it was raining and dark. You would just think there'd be a little bit of awareness that's like, yeah, this guy maybe is allowed to go somewhere. I don't know. It's all wild. It's a wild thing. And then for Scotty to be able to handle it is just like even more reaffirmed to me, this guy's the one. Like, in between the years, this guy is the one. And I'm very thankful that he's in the middle of his run. Now, AJ has a question for you about the PGA Championship, Sully.
So at Valhalla, this course, and Xander wins at 21 under. And I guess the golf marks / purists, sometimes they get upset when people score too well, right? It seems like that seems to be going on. Oh, Valhalla doesn't have any bite. The weather didn't pick up or whatever. What made this course, I guess, play so easy for these guys? And will we see this again? Will we see someone go 21 under in a major again?
I think if you want me to put my golf purist hat on, I would say it's not as much about the scoring as it is the specific test of the golf course, right? One of a lot of golf nerds like myself love is you get a chance with the U.S. Open and the PGA Championship every year to rotate to an interesting venue that we don't see every year on the PGA Tour, and it's going to provide a specific kind of test which should hopefully ask a variety of questions, right? Ask you for a variety of different skills, different shots, different elements that you got to face that can come out at the end of 4 days. You can say like, hey, this guy was the best at conquering the firm greens, the holes you need to fade it, holes you need to draw at, the downhill holes, the uphill holes, the end of the wind, the long ones, the short ones, the wedges, the long irons, the delicate pitches, the bunker shots, all that kind of combining up into like, that was a complete examination and you were the best this week. And I think the critique here is Valhalla presented a lot of the same question on repeat. It looked a lot more like a PGA Tour setup with, a lot of, not just a lot of birdies. I don't think as many people have a problem with birdies as much as there is the lack of downside risk of some of those shots. There was a lot of moments in that back nine even yesterday where Xander kind of wavered a little bit, specifically that 17th hole, drove it in a fairway bunker, missed it right of the green, but the up and down from there was very easy. That, there wasn't that kind of risk-reward element of it. It was pin your ears back, go as fast as you can. I spent all morning since I got the invite to come on here to try to come up with a comparison, like in football terms of like what it would be like. I didn't come up with a very good one other than like, it'd be like if you asked to identify the best NFL team just by like, all right, everybody go play the Raiders, and we're going to see how well you did up against them, instead of like going head to head against each other for like a variety of matchups and, you know, chess pieces that are played against scheming offense and defense and all of those things. That's kind of the best I could come up with to say, like, it felt like an incomplete test. You know, it just felt like, here's what you got to do. Who's the best at going low? And major championships, the really, really good ones in my mind, are the ones that keep you on a knife's edge throughout the entire round, right? A mistake is going to be potentially very costly. It's going to send you right back to the field. But a well-deserved drive and a well-deserved approach shot is going to give you the exciting birdie that everyone wants to see at home. That's what felt like was lacking this past week. And I know not everyone shares that viewpoint, but that's kind of where I sit on.
Okay, so I appreciate the way you described that there, at least how my brain took it, because you are competing against the golf course. Like, that is who you're competing against, is the golf course. Each hole should be its own game, like should be its different team, is what you're saying. Like, hey, each hole should be, through the season, we are trying to beat each hole. And a lot of the teams had similarities. We had too many similar teams here. When most majors, it's like, hey, each one is going to provide challenges that are going to fuck you up in different ways.
Yeah, and especially the thing being like, hey, if you execute this shot, here's what's going to mean. It might mean you make birdie, but if you take on the risk and you don't execute it, what happened in Valhalla was, even if you hit a pretty poor shot into a green, you could make par relatively easily, right? And so on a really good, like Augusta National, Oak Hill last year at the PGA Championship, if you take on the risk and you don't execute the shot, you might make a bogey. Like, that's where the excitement comes in for me. Of there could be all kinds of volatility in the leaderboard, you know, and there just it's a different test of who is the best player, right? This is a certain gear of like, every professional golfer's got a go mode. Everybody can take it low, and it's just a different question. That's not to say Xander doesn't deserve to win and that he's not a worthy champion. It's just a different,
he beat everybody.
It's
same
a different
game,
question.
same course,
Yeah.
same game, same rules. He won. You deserve it. Good luck. Keep it going. Another guy that won the weekend. Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Sully, has anyone had a more improbable run to where they're at right now than Bryson DeChambeau, just in terms of like, basically, you know, he comes on and everyone kind of hates him because he's quirky, he's a weirdo, he gains all the weight, he's doing the protein shakes, and then he goes to LIV and they put him on TV and he's like answering for the transgressions of Saudi Arabia, and it's kind of weird. Everyone still kind of hates him. And then after, you know, like slowly people are kind of just back on board. The video comes out of him, you know, throwing his golf ball to the little kid, and some jackass, you know, 35-year-old grabs it and tries to run away, and Bryson kind of motherfucks him until he gives the ball back. And then obviously like his emotions and everyone kind of hoping for a playoff. And now it's kind of to the point where I don't know. This is just for me personally. Like, I kind of love Bryson now and want to see him do well and want to see him compete to win every single week. Do you think a lot of people feel that same way? And or am I misreading this?
I would struggle to come up with somebody I could think of off the top of my head that I know that really likes Bryson overall, but isn't extremely entertained by what he does on the golf course, right? I don't want to absolve Bryson of past very serious kind of issues and reasons not to like him, or, you know, not to, the reasons he hasn't come off very well in the past. We don't need to go through that whole list of things, other than to say, like, all that kind of goes out the window when he is on a golf course. He is one of the most entertaining, if not the most entertaining golfer currently in the game. It was like that when he was on the PGA Tour driving the ball, you know, 370 yards at times, and it's still that way when we see him back up in major championships. I love, he's always been willing to try to be different. He's always willing to put himself out there, always willing to try different things that nobody else is trying. He put on all the weight, just decided to drive the ball like at a level nobody has ever driven it at in the past, and he just has seemed to, in past years, year and a half, 2 years, just become a lot more self-aware, right? He used to wear the silly Ben Hogan style hat that I think kind of made him an easy target for people to make fun of him. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't one of those people, but he's got this like gravitational force, man. If I'm there at a tournament, I want to go see what that guy is doing. And even if he's done a lot of things that have come off very unlikable in the past, I still find myself rooting for him. I'm rooting for him to climb leaderboards. I'm rooting for him to be involved, because you just don't know what's going to happen next. He just has this magnetism to him, and he just seems like he's in a way better place. LIV Golf seems to have been a great thing for him. Playing less golf, you know, doing more stuff on YouTube is something that he's really cited as being an important level of growth for him, and being able to kind of reach fans in that way. And I'm weirdly happy for the guy that he's found success. He's played great in major championships, 3 of the last 5. He's finished, I think, in the top 6, and he's been extremely competitive in them. And it's great to see, because after a while, I mean, he was playing some really, really incredible golf. He started getting injured, which was a predictable kind of fall off from what he had taken on and was putting onto his body that golfers don't tend to do, because it's just really, really hard to maintain that level of weight and weight training in the game of golf. Yeah, it was never going to be sustainable. And his game took a hard dive, and you never know if it's going to come back, if that's the case, right? When guys start having health issues, almost everyone's career, if you watch a golfer that has had great success, that all of a sudden starts to dip for some reason, an injury is almost always the turning point. Whether you bounce back from that is like your body's going to change post-injury, and now you got to find a way to make your golf swing work in a post-injury world. That was no guarantee that it was going to come back. And I give him a ton of credit for recognizing, hey, this whole weight thing is not going to work for sustainability for me. I'm going to dial that back, and I'm going to kind of get in the middle, find a middle place where I can be competitive, and he's done that. That's a really good Bryson impression.
Yeah, he locks that fucker out. I've actually thought a couple of times, like, he's doing it by science and numbers and all that type of stuff, and you see him, like, judge, like, all right, I'm going 35% back here and this whole thing. And then the way he putts is just like, so he has that long one. It's just like
that is spot on, dude. I don't know if I can
watch a lot of Bryson on Sunday.
I need to change it.
Didn't see him on Saturday as much as I think we all would have hoped for potentially from the broadcast coverage, but that might be because he's on a different, league, an entirely different tour that you said has been good for him because he gets away, gets to do some other things. Major championship, he shows up, he's DeChambeau, the people love him. It's great to see him again. There's some other situations Tone has a question about.
Yeah, as an outsider looking in, just kind of this week, I heard Jon Rahm's comments this week about how he still feels like he's a PGA Tour member, or however he phrased that. And then he comes out this weekend, and he just looks frustrated. And this whole year, he talks about how he still watches every PGA event and is breaking down every PGA event. Any chance that Jon regrets his decision to potentially go to LIV? Because he just how do the people on tour take it? Because he just doesn't seem like the same guy.
He's not Jolly John.
Yeah, he's not Jolly John.
He's not Jolly John.
He's always been fiery, but he's a little mad now.
Yeah, he seems bummed out, is what Tone's saying.
Dejected John.
Oh,
it's a great question. I you're asking me to project here how Jon Rahm feels, which is challenging, but I'm happy to do that. He is one of the most competitive people I've come across in the game, and the most fiery dude. And I was really drawn to just his entire competitive nature, and I've always really enjoyed watching him play, and I root for him a lot. And his decision to leave just didn't line up with the things he himself had said in the past in terms of where the most talent was in the professional golf, what his style of tournament was that he liked to play. He has said things like, look, I think you should have to choose between LIV and the PGA Tour, prior to him leaving for LIV. Now, granted, some things have changed since the framework agreement was announced, which looked like it was going to be a merger, but we still don't know what's actually going to happen with that.
Yeah, what the hell's going on? They're meeting down in the Bahamas?
Don't ask me that one. Nobody really knows what's actually going on with this, with the Tour and PIF merger and all that stuff.
I won't ask you.
All that's to say, I think he genuinely believed, and maybe he's right, maybe he's wrong, that him leaving could kind of help snowball that, the negotiations and get the golf world back together and say, all right, that was another, kind of point in the negotiation for the LIV side to be able to bring people back to the table. I don't know. I think he genuinely believed that. And my honest opinion on it is, for somebody that was already very wealthy, was very well off, getting a ton more money and sacrificing, even if it's sacrificing 1% of your natural competitive nature, had to be very unfulfilling. And that's what I see when I look at Jon right now. I don't see somebody who looks very fulfilled with his decision, right? I don't know if it's hard to get however much money he got, 300 million, 400 million, 500 million. We don't know. It's hard to say.
650 million.
Yeah.
You said he was already rich. Yeah, not wealthy. He was already rich, you said. Wealthy, 650 million.
Yeah, right.
That's a different ballgame, I think. But when you're making decisions strictly for that, you're saying there's a chance there's a ripple effect. Yeah.
It is. And, are you fulfilled by this? And do you feel like I'd be hard pressed to sit here and say like he regrets going. And when you have that much money in your bank account, you knew what you were doing. You knew what it was going to be worth to you. But I don't see the same passion. That doesn't mean it can't come back. But I don't. So far in major championships, as a golf fan, I feel a little bit cheated here. If the only time we get all the best players together 4 times a year now, he's given up 2 of them this year. He's not been competitive in 2 of them this year. And that's just really disappointing for somebody who I still believe is at minimum one of the 5 best players in the world. maybe one of the 3 best players in the world, sometimes is the best player in the world, and we just haven't seen that to this point. I don't blame LIV for that to this point, other than to say, like, he just seems to have lost a little bit of his swagger, which is equally disappointing.
Well, like you've mentioned with some others, maybe there's an injury or something that he's battling through right now, trying to figure out, whenever you're lifting those bags of cash.
Yeah, there you go.
Come on, John.
Yeah, that shit can get you. But you're right. We like Brooks Koepka. Whenever I'm seeing him warm up for one of these majors, I'm like, hell yeah. Brooks Koepka's back. Like, it's fun to watch him golf and and just keep it moving. And then you see DeChambeau, it's like, yeah, I like everything about this. And then Cam was starting to get famous, the great putter with the long hair from Australia. Tom Smith. He was starting to get real popular. Like, he was starting to read every green like perfectly. That was like his thing. And then he's back. It is cool to see these guys. It's like, oh, it's great to see you guys on my TV game. Because I normally spend the weekends watching golf in the background with the baby and the wife. It's still a great time. Don't get me wrong. There's one particular person though, who's been a part of this golf for a while now. Connor has a question for you, Sully.
Sully, look, I don't know how everyone up here feels, but I personally, my favorite story since Tiger, you mentioned Scotty, mine has easily been Blocky. And to be completely honest, after the first couple rounds, yes, I do. And I don't, please do not put your thoughts onto me. After that first round, it was tough, honestly, as a spectator who, 1, bet on Blocky to win, and 2, kind of thought that he was going to make this run again. But what's the expectation here for myself? Hey, look, if you can make $1 million betting, you might as well try. What should my expectation be with Blocky going forward, Sully? And also, is this kind of glorious run over now, or what do we think?
Look, I've never been asked to project a 46, 47-year-old club pro the rest of their career. I don't think I've ever had to do this.
Welcome to journalism, pal.
That's the Blocky difference.
Welcome to journalism.
Look, I don't know if I'm buying at that age. Look, he is taking some advice. There was a great report from Golf Digest this past week from Joel Beal. He's saying, look, I was FaceTime with DJ Khaled, and DJ Khaled told me, "This is our year, Blocky. Don't say no to anything." And he took that very literally. And he's been quite overexposed on a lot of fronts. And,
I'll say disagree.
DJ Khaled told him to take every gig offered.
Good move, DJ.
Thank you, DJ Khaled.
Love you, DJ.
It was pretty miraculous what happened at Oak Hill last year, right? And projecting anything else to ever come about like that ever again for Block would kind of diminish the ridiculous nature if it was a club pro finishing in the top 15 of a major championship. That was a really, really difficult major championship on the opposite end of kind of what we saw at Valhalla last year. Like, Oak Hill was really tough golf, and he managed to make that last for 4 days. It's easy to do 1 day, easy to do 2 days, but make it last for 4 days was pretty miraculous. But look, this is not financial advice. This is not betting advice. I just don't know if my nuggies would be going towards Michael Block. He's going to be playing this coming week at the Charles Schwab Challenge at Colonial.
Yeah. Well, how long's that course? Is that a short course? Is that a short part?
It is a shorter course.
Blocky's back.
We got short track? We got short track racing for Blocky this weekend?
Top 20.
Wait a minute.
Qualify for the U.S. Open, too, right? Will he qualify for the Open? The U.S. Open?
I don't know if he's playing a U.S. Open qualifier. I think he probably would have had.
He wins this next tournament he's in, right?
He's in. Gotta be. He wins the time PGA event. Give him the card.
Just invite him back so he can embarrass himself at the U.S. Open.
See, Sully, this is what we're dealing with.
This is the problem, Sully. You got haters everywhere.
He played well, Jay, too, I thought.
Well,
that's what happens whenever you just take every gig. It's not Blocky's fault.
Oh, yeah, Blocky's great. What did he finish again, dead last?
Yeah,
come on,
he
man.
He did win DJ Khaled's tournament.
Well, and we got to see him all weekend because those fucking horrendous commercials that Sully's talking about. Saw that about 8,000 times on Saturday and Sunday. So Blocky was there for the weekend.
No, we appreciate
this guy's deal.
Blocky, Michael Block, congratulations. I want to let you know. Just the opinions at Tide do not reflect that. Just like the banners, the reminder at the beginning.
Yes, exactly.
The thing, we love you, Blocky, and I appreciate what you and DJ Khaled did. There was a lot of Michael Block, though, and there's a lot of good golf happening. Yeah. So I think a lot of people were asking some questions about, like, okay, here we go. But I'd like to say after meeting Michael Block at ESPYs, good dude.
Yeah. I said that.
Guy you love to have a drink with.
I said that from the get-go. I love Blocky the human being. Blocky the golfer, I'm just kind of done with.
He had a whole one.
He did, yeah.
Bones.
Let's talk about the coverage. You just chat about the coverage a little bit. D-But's got a question for you.
Course record, too. Have some respect.
Yeah, he did. Shot at fucking 87 on Thursday. Course record, my ass.
Weird how that can happen.
The golfer.
God, the golfer. I love him.
The golfer.
Or whatever, the golfer. I'm done with fucking Blocky. I never want to hear his name again.
That's bullshit.
Go ahead, D-Buck. What was your question?
All right, sorry. This past weekend, you had a chance to do so. We had a chance to do last year and the last couple of years, the Simulcast. You know, some big time games. Obviously, that's a major. So, what was that experience like covering the major of the Simulcast with the guys?
You know, if you'd asked me like 10, maybe even 5 years ago, like what's the dream thing you could possibly do? And it's obviously a huge issue with rights and all this stuff, but it'd be like, hey, we'd love to do a show where it's just a bunch of people sitting around, hanging out, talking to each other exactly like they would if they were, you know, sitting in this room right here watching Major Championship Golf on TV. And we got a chance to work with Omaha Productions to do that. ESPN2 greenlit it. It was on ESPN Plus this past weekend. And to my shock, I mean, it was the most like, hey, you guys do your thing. Like, we're not going to tell you what to do. We're not going to tell you who to be, how to act. We're not going to train you up on how to take us to commercial, how to come back to commercial, how to narrate highlights, any of that. It's just like, go do your thing. And that's really, really hard to find in the sports world in general, in the media world in general. And we had such a great time doing it. Jimmy G, the producer, was in our ear and just made it very, very easy for us. And oh, yeah.
The quarterback? Jimmy G for the 49ers?
No, I don't think it was him. I've never met him face to face, but I don't think it was the same Jimmy G. I'd be surprised if it was.
Patriots. Hold on one second. Was it? Hold on.
Want to start Jimmy?
No, we're gonna FaceTime him.
Jimmy Galapagos. Galapagos Islands, Jimmy.
No.
I was indeed kidding. It was not Jimmy Garoppolo that was running the ones and twos. I'm almost positive on that.
I'm calling Jimmy G.
But yeah, it was incredible. It was absolutely. It was so much fun. People loved it.
Hey, we're live on the air. We're live on the air right now. He's driving, so he's got Apple AirPlay. He can't. Okay. Did you produce the No Laying Up simulcast this weekend?
I did produce No Laying Up.
How was it? Did you have a good time? We're talking to Sully right now. He said he loved Jimmy G. He said Jimmy G was the man.
Little mouthy, but
he did say you're chirping him a little bit, but he enjoyed having you. Did you have a blast with Sully and the boys?
Dude, those guys are the best.
Oh, Jimmy's lying.
Pandering.
Jimmy. All right, we appreciate you. That guy's game day. That's game day director. He's.
I assumed you were talking Jimmy Garoppolo. I thought that's what you were blowing me up about. I thought you were. That's what the joke was there.
Well, there is always a. Hey, what's your name? Jimmy G. Not that Jimmy G.
Yep.
Like every time, because he does get called that. He's been called Jimmy G since before Jimmy G became Jimmy G, I believe.
Oh, that
he's great director. Great director. You guys were on a lot, right? A lot of time.
Yeah, we were on 8 hours this week. That was a long time. Plus, we do our show every night. I know how you guys do it now, doing however many hours a week of TV you guys do. But it was a lot of talking about the same golf and the same sport for that much time. But it was fun, man. It was really fun. People seem to be really into it. We got a lot of great feedback from it, and we hope to continue it on. But I give a lot of shout out to everyone that put some trust into us and just let us kind of do our thing. And if you want the main broadcast, it's over there on ESPN. Like you don't, we're not trying to replace that. We're doing our own thing.
Don't worry about those people. Those are the dumbest. You can't take them seriously because right across the bottom it actually says main broadcast on ESPN, and we have to deal with that. People hate us. Why is this guy yelling in my ear about this game? Why do they got cowboy hats on? Why do they got cowboy hats on for us? And it's like, there's Fowler and Herbie are very good. You should go do that one. We just got a chance to walk on the Rose Bowl field. God. How many more of these do you have? Do you know how many more you have?
Well, I mean, we're hoping to do it next year for the PGA, but ESPN doesn't, only covers the first two majors. Augusta, the Masters is a little bit different hurdle to clear to get a telecast where you can go say whatever you want on. But we're hoping to do it. Continue to do it for the PGA. They've, everybody's been so easy to work with. You know how this is though. Everything's got to line up great, right? If somebody wants us to come do it and tells you how to do it, it's just not going to work, right? So it's got to be like this, or we're not going to want to do it because it's just it's kind of the only way we can picture doing it.
Congrats, you've earned it, pal. No Laying Up podcast host, ladies and gentlemen, and co-founder Sully. Thank you, buddy.
Sully.
Hell yeah! Just talking about golf.
Mm-hmm. It's a great weekend.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal on ESPN too to have a watch along for a major. Like that's
Yeah, I saw.
We're in a good spot. We're in a good spot for watching sports. I think.
Yeah, well, if you're watching people watch sports, that's what every time we do.
I guess that's where we are.
Especially with golf, a lot of new viewers probably prefer that, especially if they listen to the pod already or follow the guys and know the characters and the personalities. Sure. They would definitely much prefer to watch it that way.
Yeah, you can dive a little deeper on things as opposed to we're just moving. Because that's good. The golf has it figured out.
Yeah.
Golf has it figured out for like watching in the background. Let's get over to, you hear a loud scream on somebody else's shot, and it's like, wait a minute, what hole is he? So there's got to be a close, you're trying to guess now, and then it's some motherfucker you have never heard of comes on. All right, here's Scotty McFuckboy from Ireland. It's like, well, I wonder what happens here. And then lo and behold, every time, fucking holes out.
Yeah, exactly.
What a shot. What a shot.
So
Thank
good.
you for that. It was like a little highlight, a little appetizer real quick. Boom. Just a little dash of and then bang, we're back into the story. It's like, they got to figure it out. Golf has it figured out. That's why the LIV thing, I think, is such a big, like, hey, it's figured out.
I mean, how are they going to figure what can they do to figure it out to get you to actually tune in?
They need to just do a golf with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty simple.
Yeah.
Well,
Do a golf
Do
thing.
the golf thing.
Just do a golf is. Just do it. They got it. They got it figured out.
Yeah.
And if your leaderboard is a strong one, people will tune in more.
Yep.
And if it's not, they won't. That's golf, baby.
Yeah.
I
Bingo.
think that is.
Amen.
Now, that's not the purists, obviously. They're going to watch and watch and watch. I'm just talking as a human that spends a lot of time watching golf, like in the weekend, or at least having it on TV in the background because it's something playing along. It's like, just do the golf. They fucking mastered it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It is.
Especially when it's good.
Yeah, when everyone's golfing and it's like that, and like the leaderboard. I mean, we were saying it all weekend. It felt like this leaderboard. Obviously, Scheffler on Saturday was a bummer, but they were just studs at every single level. It was awesome.
Let's talk about Saturday. There's a little action over there in Saudi Arabia.
Oh,
doing fights over there.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of combat sports happening in Saudi Arabia. There was a boxing match.
Big one.
For the World Heavyweight Championship.
Wow.
The whole fucking world.
Undisputed.
Undisputed heavyweight. If you're a heavyweight, this is the fucking champion of all the man. Tyson Fury and Usyk, I mean, what a fucking battle.
Yeah.
These boys put on a show out
They're
there.
on bombs.
Tyson Fury came in what seemingly was the best shape he's ever been in. We see him thin. Now, I obviously was introduced to him late when he was taking on the Alabama Hammer in multiple battles overseas. And his dad talking shit and him, I immediately became a fan. I'm like, look at this character. And then he got involved with WWE. I'm like, I fucking love this guy. Here we go. And then he was great. He was unhittable. Move, boom, 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 bang, boom, boom. So big. And then he fucking sing.
Yeah.
This guy get on a microphone afterwards. He would sing.
Sweet.
And he had a sweet accent. And it was just like, holy shit, this is the guy. This is the guy. Then I listened to a British gambler that was breaking down the fight. And he said, Usyk is in better form than Tyson Fury. And then he said, a lot of people say Tyson lost that fight to Francis Ngannou. And that his form, the battles with... Fury battled Alabama Hammer.
Wilder?
Wilder.
Yeah.
They said it killed him. That ended both of them. He didn't kill him, but he's
not the same though. He's saying he's not the same after that.
He's a different fighter since that has happened. That's what this guy said. And Nigel Seeley retweeted this guy's breakdown of the fight that he gave out before the fight and was like, listen to this guy. And he broke it down completely. He's like, Usyk's in great form, great shape. And when he hit him with that.
Oh, my God.
It looked like a video. I mean, it was a video game. This is it. This is not called. You're going to watch this maybe for the first time if you didn't see the highlight on the internet. That's in the middle of the fight. That's not AI. That is in the middle of the fight. Saved by the bell. There's a bell that comes in here. Yep, that bell. Down. That was the end. It was wild.
Nuts.
It was. Now, I didn't get to see the entire fight. I do apologize. The timing of the Saudi Arabia events is I don't really know until it's trending, and then it's already late, and I kind of missed it, so I do apologize for that. But Usyk's new world champion, and there were some highlights coming out of Saudi Arabia this weekend.
Yeah, and they were sweet. Also, his story. Like, I feel like if we knew what this guy was doing a couple, years ago, like, yeah, this is what popped up when it's a photo of him with the Klitschko brothers, basically like, yeah, no, I'm not going to box anymore. I'm going to fight in a war instead of doing that. And obviously, if that was some information we knew last week, I think we all would have been like, okay, so maybe Fury might not have this one this week. And I think Usyk has a little bit more to fight for than Fury on this one.
Yeah, I think the Klitschko brothers, the story we go on from this tweet from Michael Benson, told him, like, nah, you should go represent Ukraine on the world stage. He's fucking world champ.
Yeah.
He is a world champ, AJ. Do you watch a lot of boxing?
I like watching Tyson Fury. I like it, especially heavyweights. Like when there's heavyweights that are well known and they're fighting, yeah, it's fun to watch. But these guys are going to rematch, aren't they?
Yeah, Tyson already said, I got a rematch. He said, and then he claimed that the judges were obviously a little bit swayed because they feel for Ukraine, more so than they feel for the Gypsy King. So he moves along, keeps it moving. I thought
he's retired like 5 times though, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I feel like
it's a genius move.
Yeah, he's been a Hall of Famer.
I know.
He's getting up there in age.
Yeah, he's been around a long time. That's why us getting introduced to him so late was a bummer. I'm kind of bummed
Great
out.
reality show. Reality show was sweet.
Yeah, did you watch?
Is that right?
I watched. I don't know, chunks of episodes.
Chunks.
I watched a couple episodes as well. I was fascinated.
I watched the first episode.
I was fascinated by the way he goes about.
He's got a lot going on. There's a lot happening.
Yeah, he's just out of here too.
Yep. Good luck.
All right. I'm out of here, dude. Okay. I don't know. That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and his dad. Remember his dad bloody on the leading up to this fight and headbutting and everything.
We can't be beat. We can't be beat.
His dad is a part of the promotion.
Yeah, exactly. He is.
I feel like when whoever's doing the thing in Saudi Arabia goes to negotiate a deal, they're like, all right, obviously we're going to try to get a deal done with you first, and then we're going to obviously try to lock down your dad. We need him to do some shit, flip tables, headbutt, spit.
Whole thing.
Whatever. He need whole fucking.
Typical,
We need the John Fury experience.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we were hiring.
Start to finish.
How much money is that going to make? Because obviously boxing overseas is so big.
Yeah, like what do they make? What was just their flat rate for both?
I don't know. And is that how the new thing works?
Yeah,
as opposed to like pay-per-view buys and everything? I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
Yeah, for shoot. Especially like, what if Usyk put, like Garcia did? What if he put $5 million on himself?
That's been happening in boxing for a long time.
Yeah. Forever. Floyd
I
was
didn't know
doing
that.
it. Right?
You a boxing guy?
Nah, very casual. Big names, big. Like I'll watch Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight before,
For sure.
the real good
Have
guys.
to.
Definitely not missing.
I hope that doesn't disappoint.
It won't.
Tony, heavy eye roll. Tony, it was a real hard eye roll. That eye roll was from east all the way to west. We're taking a trip up to the Arctic.
And that was a 1 second change of opinion. Like what I will watch that, but I do have
doubts.
Yeah, I do have doubts.
Have you
See their
seen
first
Mike?
face-off?
Yeah.
Mike's last fight wasn't great, but he does look good training. He looks real good training.
No, his last fight, he wasn't allowed to.
And I saw
a deal. They made a
I saw
deal.
Jake was punching a 14-incher, so he's training hard too.
Yeah.
Well, he was speed bagging a dildo.
What?
Stamped on a table.
Was he really?
Yeah, he
Who
was.
was?
Jake Paul.
For this fight?
Yeah.
Like a marketing thing?
I think he's just
AI?
joshing around. You know? No. It was real.
Mike called him. I know Tyson was calling him fat.
He did.
What did he say? He's out of shape? That's what he was saying? He was saying he was out of shape?
I don't know if it was during this, but when Mike was sitting down, he called him fat multiple times, I think.
I've seen people talking about Mike's highlight films as well, because a lot of his cut-ups people have a problem with. They're saying like, hey, Mike Tyson's promos, they're great, but there's more cuts in the Biden videos than there are in the Mike Tyson's one. So like, is this guy actually in shape because he's just sprinting for 2 seconds and then that's all you see?
I don't know what your comparison is, okay?
That's what they said.
That was 16 seconds. No flubs, fucking send it.
Well, the new one, maybe.
Yeah. So him running, though, is very impressive.
Yeah.
Because, I'm 37 years old now, which is wild. I'm very old at this stage. I had a birthday, obviously, a few weeks back.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Too much of that. But I'm new 37.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a whole new.
Fresh 37.
What's that?
Fresh 37.
Yeah, but saying my age,
Yeah.
He's moving.
Yeah,
I could not do that. I don't know if I.
4'2".
From
I
that,
feel like
people are saying like, okay, well, that's cool.
I don't know,
Mike,
guys.
but
I don't know.
But I don't know how much of that you're doing, Mike. That's kind
He
of
doesn't have to sprint.
look at
He
the
doesn't
knee
have to sprint.
drive. Look at the knee drive.
The knee drive isn't. I think
The
that's
ring
problem.
for the fight is, I thought, 40 yards by 40 yards.
So that's good.
That's how.
Why
the
is he
fight started.
sprinting
He's
like
doing it.
I think it's good then. He's in a good spot. How about Jake putting his left hand right next to Mike Tyson's head and Tyson just standing there? So
How does Jake feel? Jake has to be like, what? Is this going to hurt as bad as I think? Like, I remember, he remembers watching Mike. You've seen highlights of Mike, obviously, knocking everybody out.
I don't know if Jake feels that way. I think Jake probably thinks I'm not going to get hit by this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people worried, about Mike Tyson being allowed to do this fight. There's a lot of
I'm
people
a little
saying
worried
that.
about Mike.
57 or
Wow.
whatever.
You mean they're worried for Mike?
Yeah, because he's 57 or whatever.
Yeah, but then they saw that video of him sprinting. They're like, oh, never mind.
Yeah, you're right.
he's moving
That
faster than
shuts
ever.
him down. That shuts him down.
Does.
How old is Jake Paul? Just so we know.
Like
27?
28. Yeah.
So young.
Okay, so 29-year difference, if that's accurate.
Okay.
It just feels like a little separator.
Not an exhibition though. The Roy Jones Jr. one was, so this will go on
Okay, yeah,
Tyson's
for
record. So I think he's got a little more skin in the game for this one.
Can we put a title up on the line here? Can we
That'd be
make one?
sweet.
Can we do a
We should
title?
make one.
30-year title.
It's on Netflix, right?
He's 57. Jake's 27.
Oh, is it?
It's live on Netflix.
Yeah. Is it like a pay-per-view Netflix, or you just, if you have an account, it's
free.
You can watch?
I think, yeah, you just have it.
Beautiful. Okay.
Could you imagine Tyson does still?
Can you imagine how mad people would be if you had to have Netflix and then also pay for the people? The world would melt down.
That's the next step.
It might implode.
They're definitely going to have that.
We all
Or
know
wouldn't
that's the next step.
Oh,
Super
yeah.
premium. What the fuck happened to my ex? I got ads showing up all over my shit.
Me too.
And then they say, "Do you want to upgrade?" It's like have I not already fucking? I thought I was upgraded. What are we even?
No, it's premium. You pay more for premium.
Premium, but they won't even let me do it on my phone.
No, that was just the upgrade. You need the premium to get no ads.
Yep. Yeah, but how come I try to do it on my phone? You won't let me do it on my fucking phone. I only use X on my phone. I don't even. So I want to walk around with a laptop. I gotta. What are they doing?
They want everybody to pay for Grok.
Yeah. I'm not using Grok. Because you'll hold Grok against me.
Neither am I.
It's true.
Grok's listening, though. We need to know.
Yeah, it's using you if you're using it or not.
Watch your mouth, Nick. Watch your mouth. D-But we're off 4 days. I think we got to do a giveaway. You want to win something for some people?
Do we? Because I
Still
feel
those
like
sweet
I feel like there
UFC
was a really
gloves.
cool video put out this weekend or week, whatever it was, that made me think maybe we shouldn't do those.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about the Emmy Award-winning talk production?
Yeah.
Oh.
Casey from Lumberwood.
About the year that was?
Mm-hmm.
New Cadillac Escalade owner?
Yeah.
16,000 original miles. That's a real deal, Holyfield.
Who
16,000.
owned it? How is there only 16,000? What'd they do?
I think it probably was at a dealership, and then probably the owner just kind of kept it as
Kept
his
it
or her
somewhere?
own,
Hangout car.
and then just kept it.
Their love shack. They just made love to people in there, probably all over that place.
Hey, there's people telling us now. Obviously, anytime you auction anything in the world, there's going to be people say, "You got fucking got," you know, what a loser. There was a lot of people in the like the car world that were like, 21 grand, 16,000 miles. Not that
sounds
bad.
too good to be true.
Not that bad of a purchase either.
Yeah.
And we do that fucking live on the air. What a home run situation.
Yeah.
Shout out to Meekum. I spent a lot of time in the Indiana State Fair this weekend.
It was great. It was a great time.
There for 6 hours on Saturday. It was awesome.
It was awesome. Just go outside.
Well, you guys did Saturday too?
That was Friday. My apologies. Long weekend.
I was gonna say you guys went back because we did 6 hours earlier in the week.
Did we do Saturday? I don't think I went there on Saturday. No, I watched golf with Babe.
That was a sweet. Was that a Bronco for Sam? That thing was awesome.
It's a 1966 Ford Bronco U13 Roadster. Okay. No roof, no doors. Not a lot of power in the engine, but we'll get that fixed.
Oh.
Sam loves it. Sam absolutely loves it.
It looks sweet. Especially now, this time of year, you're getting it too. Like when you can use it. Yeah, that's awesome.
It's perfect. I do believe the gas pedal actually fell off today while she was driving it. So add that to the list. There's some other stuff.
Well, you fit perfectly in the front seat.
Yeah,
too,
so you know when I sit down and you know the thing that goes up and down, you know. Yep. Well, when it's sitting, it is right here on me on that
staring
particular Bronco. Now I can get down here, you know, and I can see what's going on out there, but I got to do it myself because the chairs don't move.
No, sure, they do not budge.
They do not budge. But Sam fucking loves it. So that's all that matters out there. She's enjoying the hell out of it. It is going to need to be tuned up and fixed and made a little bit more modern.
Yeah, sure.
Well, you saw the other ones that were souped up. Like when that happens, it will be unbelievable.
Bingo.
Yeah.
That's the whole deal is like you got to build these cars. I almost started this will come to a surprise to nobody that knows me. Almost started a custom car garage on Friday. I was actually asking around.
Oh yeah.
I was asking a couple of buyers. You know, AJ?
Auctioneer Matt.
What do you mean? You're trying to hire him away? Like trying to hire him, open your own shop?
I'm just asking them how we fucking make money here. Okay? Because there's people that have like 100 cars just doing Meekum. Like they don't have dealerships. They just do cars at Meekum. They buy these cars. They find these cars, whether they're at other auctions, like smaller auctions, or they find them somewhere, they buy them, they fix them up, and then they put them up at Meekum. And then there's people making like full business, have for like a long time. So I'm watching the show. I'm like, I like cars, you know? I fucking love cars.
Yeah.
Would love to just like be at Meekum and make money as opposed to spend, you know, a lot of money.
Yeah, it'd be cooler watching your cars get bought.
It'd be sweet to do that entire thing. But then I was told, this is, you can't be some dumb dipshit getting into the car game. And then you're predicting the prices on these cars and then when they're going to move, how they're going to move and fixing everything. But I was close. You know, Mario, Used to be a
Lopez?
No, AC Slater is not in the car.
Andretti?
Harvey?
Too.
Bill Payot, not Mario Harvey out of Huntington.
Super?
Linebacker turned fullback. You remember him? He would fucking murder. Murder people. Mario Williams, maybe? I forget his last name. D lineman.
Football player? Mario Williams, the D end?
From the Texans?
Hold on.
Texans and Bills.
Number 1 pick?
Built by...
Of course.
Mario Addison. I'm sorry, Mario.
Oh, yeah.
I am sorry, Mario. I did not remember your last name. I follow him on Instagram, Built by Yo. He has a car. He customizes cars.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he just does that entire thing. So as I'm sitting at Meekum, I'm like thinking about, man, we can make a fucking, right? Built by Yo. He's already got it figured out. He's got all the cars. We're fucking got the Auctioneer. We can get a good, we're doing that.
Got land.
And then all of a sudden you walk outside, the wife buys a 66 Bronco. You pay a lot of money for that. Then you got to check out. And buying and selling cars is a miserable process. The amount of paperwork you got to fill out. Talk had to go through all that for the first time because we bought him an Escalade. Congrats, Talk.
Congrats, Talk.
Way to have to go through that. It's like initiation in humans.
Yep, took him forever.
There we go.
Yeah, you can make money off that. You just got to find a couple fish like Bill. He's already got buyer's remorse over the car he bought.
It is sweet.
Very much so. What happened? I'd like to know.
He bought a Jeep Wrangler on Wednesday afternoon after the show was off air.
Yep. Asked him how it was going this morning. He said already had buyer's remorse about halfway to work today. So
what happened?
No, he had to relearn how to drive a stick, because a lot of these cars are manual. And he said he had driven stick before when he was 13 on a farm at his grandpa's. I'm like, so have you done it in between then? He goes, no, just then. I'm like, well, if 13-year-old you could figure it out.
Easy.
Certainly adult you could figure, even though you had an entire driving career since then. But yeah, he figured it out. He rolled that thing in this morning. I didn't know there was remorse. He had a big smile on his face.
Well, he said nothing on the dash work, so he doesn't know how much gas is in there, doesn't know how fast he's going, all that kind of stuff. RPMs aren't working, so, he's probably going to end up running out of gas at one of these times. And
Bill, the good news is with how jacked you are, you'll be able to push that Jeep wherever you need to go.
That is the only way I can get it in and out of my garage right now because the slope of the driveway, getting up in there in first gear is a little bit tough.
What?
He's scared to death.
What do you mean?
He's scared to death.
I don't want to send that thing to the back of my garage.
I don't think it's stalling. I think he's worried he's going to jump it, and that thing's going to...
You're pushing your...
That is awesome, Bill. That's awesome.
Buyer's remorse makes sense.
Big time.
Bill, you got to get better with that clutch, dude. Come on.
Yeah, it's just practice.
Yeah, I've been trying to practice out here in the parking lot. This is a good spot. I actually go out to this lot over here and get your practicing because you need not be pushing your Jeep.
Also, not having the title and not being able to legally really drive it anywhere is kind of a hindrance. But
this is Bill's Jeep Renegade.
Yep.
Oh, sweet, Bill.
It is.
It is pretty cool. It
Wait,
showed
so
up. It looked
so
cool.
you drove yours without any of that stuff, but Talk wouldn't drive his here?
Yeah, real fucking fun for whoever has to drive him.
scared Talk into not doing too much with his Escalade.
Smart move.
Sure. I mean, Talk's a wuss, dog. What are we talking about?
Yeah, but Talk would have had to get on like 2 highways to get up here.
Yeah, but
Bill didn't have to do that. Bill had to stall out at 4 stop signs.
Push it out of his driveway.
Push it out of his driveway. Different drive, I can't wait to see that Escalade up here, though.
Dude.
We spent a full day at the auction before even seeing that thing because they had to go hide it because I guess it was talk of the town. Everybody was trying to take photos
for shoot.
So they had to go move it to another garage, yeah. So we had been there for probably 3-4 hours before we saw it. Everybody, how's that Escalade? We're like, we'll go on the internet. Go on the internet.
And then in person, guess what?
It's beautiful.
It looks just as good.
He can update the entertainment console a little bit. And if he did that, I think he's got like a brand new fucking.
Yeah.
When he turned it on, it said like May 2nd, 1998 on the radio. So there's a chance it hasn't been turned on. Not since then because it's 2002, but still.
Man, just so many songs too. He's learning about all the Escalade references.
Did you guys see the Flintstones golf cart by chance?
Yeah, it was $10,000. I think they were asking for.
There was a souped up one with American flags. And
I did not see that one.
Oh no,
I did not see that one. I saw another souped up red one though that I thought you'd be referring to.
That's street legal.
You got that?
You can certainly make it street legal here in Indiana.
Yeah.
What, AJ?
I mean, yeah, it's great in theory. I guess for once or twice, a one-off. I don't know if I want that as my everyday driver.
Take that to the golf course, brother.
Yeah, that on the golf course.
They're not.
I mean, that is fun for about 8 minutes.
Not a lot of clearance up there in the front, huh?
No, there's not.
Me and Gumps were pretty close to deucing a golf cart just to drive around downtown during the city.
Golf carts are awesome
on that thing.
There's some souped up ones. There
was one that
They're
was
expensive.
Yeah, it was like $13,000.
But
sick.
It was a good time at Meekum. We appreciate him. Thank you for that. I wonder if Barrett Jackson comes down. That's the other auction. Cowboy's up there with his cowboy hat, by the way, and the gavel or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Doing his thing.
Dominating.
Then another auctioneer comes in. They got a full show.
Oh,
It is I'm so impressed by the show that it is, because it's just like one of the biggest stages I've seen. It's
doesn't stop.
It's like like the WWE folks are like 6 times a week. They're doing TV at least 2 times a week, maybe 3, depending on the new premium live event schedule.
Sure.
And everything. But the stages that get built and the tech that gets set up and the microphones and the lighting and the amount of people that are all kind of coordinated working together. It's like with Meekum, I saw like maybe the closest thing. WWE is the best in the world at it. It is stupid with how in sync.
Well-oiled machine.
It is bananas how good everybody seemingly is at their job when it comes to fucking setting everything up. But with Meekum, it looked like they had like a very similar type operation. So I was like so impressed by it all. Congrats to them. They got good amount of money on me every time they come to town.
Yeah, they are 2 for 2 in the Pat McAfee boat.
Yeah, anytime I show up, there's a good chance there's money. What's that, AJ?
Well, it's not only
I'm
that.
saying, Carmen, no, I'm just saying it would be very difficult to actually go to the Meekum auction and not buy anything. I would assume.
So hard.
Well, and the auctioneers see them, like the ones on the floor. So, like,
Yeah,
anytime
of
there's a
course.
car and there's no action, they're like pointing at them every time. Like,
This would be cool.
See this Hummer? You could drive it at some
We
point.
had the owner of the Hummer, the bid person, the auctioneer, the bid people down on the floor, and the son of the Hummer all come up to us and say, hey, heard you're interested in the...
You guys like the Hummer?
Because we must have said on the show, look at the fucking Hummer.
Oh, was it the old school one? Like
Yes,
the original
the black
deal?
one.
Yeah. So they were trying to get us to buy that for sure. That felt like too much. They're like, well, I'm going to be paying a lot for this.
Well, we were gonna. If no one bothered us, we were like, we're definitely gonna buy that one.
Okay, Connor's trying to punish these people for
Yeah,
doing that.
sure.
That is not the case.
Probably red flag.
Too
Yeah,
much.
they're trying to push it too hard.
Yeah, probably third person. All right.
They did think we were going to buy that thing for whatever reason.
For shoot, yes.
It was real deal. All right, D-Butt, what are we doing as a giveaway here, pal?
Let's throw football in the bin.
Wow.
Okay. In the final boss's bin.
Final boss's bin.
Boss's bin.
Put it in the boss's bin. The FBB shit me.
Come on, Botch.
Come on, Bocce.
What do you say, Botch?
Good fit today.
Great fit today,
Good
Bocce.
fit.
D-Butch, like the great Scotty Scheffler, what we need you to be is cool in the pocket, calm under pressure. We need you to go from being in the mentality of you're stretching in a jail cell to providing something awesome for the world within a matter of moments. Right now, all we need you to do is bury that ball into the final boss's bin, and 25 people will win $500.
Here we go.
25 people, $500 on this Overreaction Monday. Up.
That bounce is
touch,
going to
good
get
touch.
in sometime.
Bounces do count in this particular world on Overreaction Monday. AJ, anything to say to D-Butch as he attempts another go at the final boss's bin?
He doesn't need anything from me, but he knows this one's going in.
He doesn't need anything.
He doesn't need anything.
Yeah.
He's going in.
He can't. Oh, he knows his ears. My bad.
You can't hear anything he just said? He said you don't need anything. He said this one's going in. If it does, 25 people, $500.
I like that line. I like that
A little
line.
bit more
a lot
aggressive.
That's one
A
of the
little bit more
better ones
aggressive.
we
A
have.
little bit more aggressive. That ball's flat. You need to watch it.
The
It
final
might
boss
stick to your
is bin.
finger. Con man, anything you say to D-Butch here to motivate him to put the ball into the final boss's bin?
What would Barkov do?
Hey!
Yeah. What would he do?
This one's for Barkov. Oh, shit. Off the wall.
Oh! He's too juiced up.
That's what Barkov would do.
Yeah, Barkov would be proud.
Ty Schmidt has a couple words for you, D-Butch, as you attempt to bury a ball into the final boss's bin.
Fire that son bitch right at the Rock's forehead as hard as you can.
If you do that and the ball ends up in the bin, 25 people win 500. Didn't change his tactic at all.
He
wasn't hard enough.
didn't.
Yeah.
Lollipop
He had
it.
faith. He didn't need your ideas.
Yep.
He needed motivation, but not your method. Tone Diggs here, one half of the Hammer Cowboys, obviously watching throw from that particular angle, has maybe a different eye on it.
Yeah, they say that's the final boss's bin, but I say fuck that. Fuck that. That's your bin, D-Butt. Throw that in there.
Well,
fuck that throw.
That's what happens.
Oh,
it's in the water
wait a
fountain.
drinking fountain.
Wow.
Pretty good.
That's
pretty
not
good in
bad.
the water
Okay.
fountain.
Does that count?
Really
That's pretty good. It doesn't count for the game, but it certainly will be remembered forever.
Yep.
Holy shit. That's Tox, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's his.
That's Tox water fountain.
Top
Yeah.
fountain.
The one he got scared at?
Yeah. It is. D-Butch, it feels like we're down to our final football here for the final boss's bin. All you'll have to do is put that
baby ball,
Bama ball into the final boss's bin, and 25 people will win $500 on this Overreaction Monday. Took a 4-day break, but it's great to be back. Other water fountains.
What's up with the water fountains?
Well,
kind of lollipop.
Oh, I got the Duke.
Oh, shit.
The Duke. You got the Duke.
Ladies and gentlemen, this particular ball is signed by Roger Goodell himself. If Darius Butler is able to put this Duke into the final boss's bin,
what?
Ref toss. Because we have a lot of respect for the officials around here.
That's
Shout out to the officials. You guys got a hard job. Hard job. And when we say something negative, that's just trying to say that we support you, but come on, you're better than that. NBA officials, union, tweeting me. I apologize. Be your friend, tell a friend something nice. Might change their life. Hey, refs, you guys are doing great, except for when you're not, but it's a hard job.
Exactly.
And we appreciate you guys.
Gotta hold you accountable.
Now, as an official with the underhand toss, if you put that Duke in the final boss's bin, 25 people win $500 on this Overreaction Monday. Darius J. Butler!
Why even do that?
I was gonna,
brother. I don't understand.
That was.
I don't understand, my friend.
Well,
Fucked your shoulder up. Fucked your shoulder up.
did you?
Oh, you hurt your shoulder?
That's game ball from the spring.
Punt? Can you punt it? Can you get a little baby punt?
Tone.
He hasn't asked for it yet.
You can throw it.
Are you going to Monaco for the race, D-Butt?
It's calibrated.
He can't hear you.
That's game ball. That's game ball. Spring game. That thing. All that thing does is win. That's all it does.
What was the final score?
We won by 10. 31-21.
Nice.
Ladies and gentlemen. GG running wild, brother.
He was.
Me and Coach Blaine Stewart won a game that this ball was played with.
Hell yeah.
In.
With.
Both.
Yeah. One and the same.
If this ball can bring joy yet again, it's on this moment, at this time, with that bin, for 25 people to win $500. The final boss is bad.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Is somebody in there knocking it out?
Might be talk. Is that where he's at today?
This year. Does that count? I mean, what is
That doesn't count. That doesn't.
That thing actually,
Yeah.
that's unbelievable.
I think the final boss heard Tony, and then when that ball came in,
Oh,
fuck that again. Fuck that ball.
We thought that was going to happen to Xander Schauffele's putt.
Yeah.
But
That was
instead,
crazy.
his falls, ours misses. That's the first loss that ball has ever seen.
God.
And it was all the way home.
That was crazy.
Almost heaven, West Virginia. They were singing that somewhere. Where are they singing that at? Edmonton? Vancouver?
Yeah, it was one of the two.
The Cougars were singing it?
I think so, yeah.
Edmonton.
Crushed it.
Yeah, it was
Crushed.
good.
Why? Because
Very
the song's
good.
awesome. Q Country Roads.
Yeah.
They did that, and they did "Living on a Prayer." As they were singing "Living on a Prayer," the Oilers scored. It was a pretty good night in Edmonton.
That's John Bon Jovi, baby.
John Bon.
Who?
That's what happens
Who is
when
it?
JBJ comes on the tunes.
JBJ's a dog.
Yes,
I learned
he
a lot about JBJ
Oh yeah,
from some people that know JBJ.
yeah. He's a weapon.
JBJ is a weapon.
He goes.
He's a worker.
Yes, he is.
JBJ's a worker. He works.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. He's like a worker.
He's going through some vocal thing right now. He had some vocal surgery. I heard him talk
He's
about
not.
it. He's not sure where he's not sure what's going to happen.
It's not. He'll be fine. We'll always be fine.
Amen.
Thank you.
You're right.
Jesus,
You're right.
this fucking asshole.
Let's get out of here. We'll be back tomorrow. Thanks for allowing us to do this for a living. It's the dumbest show of all time. We know that. But the fact that you allow us to do it, we'll be eternally grateful for. AJ, you did great today, bub.
Baby Holger.
Hey, we did some gardening today, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, man, did we ever.
We did some gardening today.
Here we go.
Shout out to the future here. This is the ego.
Oh, yeah. I got a leaf blower with that same technology.
What if I would have bopped the thing down to make the little...
I would do that. I'd do that on the court.
You should
No,
do
yeah,
that.
of course,
You
but
can
it
do
would be fucking... That would have been the... If I would have done that, bang, bang, and then...
Come on. Come on. Just nip something.
You should take
Just
the,
nip
the
something.
cap off of that Gatorade bottle with that thing.
Yeah,
Get that
or
old-
cut
that
that
kick
straw.
challenge.
Cut that straw in
That little
half.
fucking thing will shoot off. Somebody will get hit in the face with the eyeball.
Cover your eyes, guys.
The straw right there. Just cut that straw in half. You got it. You got it. Yep. Yep. You got it. You got it.
Oh shit!
There it is. Boom. Good cut. Good cut.
All right.
That's precision.
So,
You got to open a landscape company now.
maybe. I mean, I'm
Maybe.
going to sleep on it. All right. Great work today, guys. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. We're in this thing together. Team on me. Team on three. 1, 2, 3. Goodbye.